Yeah, here we go. Here we go, TruCrime Cafe. Kicking the door, peel back the day. Seeking that truth, only do it his way. Notes on the napkin, red string on the case. Looking for justice, can't see it real clear. Screens full of static, but the trail's right here. Pointing at the weirdness, zoom, don't blink. Hey, look, it's right there. You closer than you think. Yeah! Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Breaking down the crazy, put the lies on the tray. Making sense of the cray. Say what you feel. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Yeah. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Sip on the facts, let the fog burn away. Truth in the cup, take a taste, that's the deal. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. No wheels. Yeah, no wheels. Mic on the counter, files on the floor. Walk me through the timeline, then we ask once more. Side-eyeing every story, every hole, every gap. If the glove don't fit, then we redraw the map. From the cold case corners to the heat of the stand, he break it all down, so you finally understand. Clock on the wall, but the grind don't stop. Justice ain't blind, it just been cropped. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. True crime, breaking down the crazy. Put the lies on the tray. Making sense of the cray. Say what you feel. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Serve it up hot at the TruCrime Cafe. Sip on the facts, let the fog burn away. Truth in the cup, take a taste, that's the deal. We shut down the bullshit. Don't give it no wheels. Here we go.
Yeah, roll call missing. They go to sauce bars, clock on the wall, still ticking. Blue crew posted in the bag, a whole room. Listen. True crime cafe, coffee, black eyes, red files on the table, cold cases, cold dread, seeking the truth. Ink stains on his hand, pics on the corkboard, string lines, map land, busting these cases, long nights, tight grind. Everything will be fine. He repeat that line. Blue crew backs him, keep him on track. One step from the edge, they pulling them back. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, seeking the truth, pay the real cost. Gotta find answers, gotta make time, busting these cases, walking that line. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, hoping he can answer just a few. Yo, true crime cafe, when they go to softball, say it with your chest. This the true talk, solving the bullshit, lies in the booth, paper plates, cheap meals, chasing down proof, praying real quiet, hands on his face, fighting for the next meal. In another cold case, street talk, tip line, voices on mute, he dig through the dirt, searching for a root, true justice, distant, like it changed the address, but he still take notes, never half step. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, seeking the truth, pay the real cost, gotta find answers, gotta make time, busting these cases, walking that line. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, thinking he can answer just a few talk. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, say it with your chest, it's the truth talk. True talk.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the cafe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whoever you are. I hope it's good, guys. It's great to be back in the house with you guys today. One of two shows for today, guys. This is the first one. We're going to be reviewing these new documents that dropped yesterday as much as we can. And then back again at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be here with the Verdict Room. Myself, Miss Logan with Bronx Tales, Kim with Typically Unique, and Mikey with The Last 24, joined by Travis from Travesty Logic. as we do statement analysis breakdown and discuss all of that stuff, guys. I can't wait for that. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're here for it. You don't want to miss it. So come on in, grab a seat, get off them feet. Happy Saturday to you all. I hope you're having a great one. Sit down, fill up your cup. Let's get this thing moving, guys. Here we go. Here we go.
Neon lights flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with a restless rage. Justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hunt the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the break. At the TruCrime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay. In the TruCrime Cafe.
All right, welcome back, guys. Happy Saturday. Good morning to all you beautiful people. And of course, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, because some of you are in different parts of the world, so therefore it's not morning there, but it is here. It is noon, actually, so good afternoon for those of you that are in our time zone. And for the rest of you, I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Finally, it only took 46 years, but we got the documents released again. And some of the documents, I should say, I think there was 23 new documents dropped, re-released, whatever you want to call it, whatever they were playing around, doing, messing around, corrupting, whatever you want to call it. They were doing it. So, yeah. Um, so we're gonna break down as many as we can. And I'm taking my time, guys. So don't be in a rush with this because I don't like to do that. I like to go through what I can, how I can, and try to make it understandable. That's the hardest part with this whole thing. And then again tonight, like I said, at 6 p.m. This is one of two shows today. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be joined here by the most amazing people, all of the amazing people that will be in here with you guys. But of course, Miss Kim with Typically Unique, Logan with Bronx Tales True Crime, Mikey, my I'm sorry. Nope, I was screwed up. My production manager and my friend as well, with the last 24. And of course, our special guest tonight will be Travis with Travis D Logic as he breaks down statement analysis for us and does it live tonight. Still haven't decided who I want to do. There's too many choices, you guys. Too many choices. To be honest with you, I'd love to have him take the time to break down the law enforcement side of the interviews. That would be something I'd like to see, but we're not going to go there. So we're going to go through some of these documents today. I hope you're here for it. I will drop the link and allow some people to join me if they choose to help us break these down. For those of you that didn't catch, Atlanta put on another great. She did two great shows yesterday. The one in the morning, there were some bombs, and last night's was another one. I'll tell you what, that's an interview I think I would definitely be interested in hearing too. Is Molly McLyers, her interview breakdown would be quite interesting to me because it's obvious that she lied through a lot of stuff, but it is what it is. I don't know. We'll see. So let's see who joined us this morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it is for you. Miss Becca, welcome back. Miss Mamikins, great to see you. Cinderella Ella. I feel like I'm going to start rapping. Anyway, good to see you, Ms. Rowe. Welcome back to you. One's in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you, sir. NYPD's finest. Thank you for being here. Just Jackie's in the house. Welcome back. Ms. Jody with the Defense Rest. Good to see you, dear. One of our beloved Aussie friends in the house. I hope you're doing well, dear, and I hope you're safe and sound. Of course you are, because you're in another part of the world, but still, I get it. Wendy's in the house. Good to see you. Tomboy Charm back in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Seahawks fan, Miss Tandy, welcome. Hopefully you're enjoying your day off, dear. This is a hard worker here. Always working. Let me see here. Who else we got joining us? Vanilla Cinnabite. Welcome to you. Cool name. Blue-eyed butterflies in the house. Good to see you today, dear. Teresa, welcome to you. And Teresa dropping the first of 5 of our goal for today. Thank you so much, Teresa. God bless. Very generous. North Carolina Mountain Man, what is happening, brother? Good to see you today. Hope you're doing well. Mama Five's in the house. Good to see ya. The positive and lovely Miss Paula Fitzhenry's joining us. Great to see you, dear. Thank you for being here. CZ, welcome back to you. Great to see you. We got 2 of our teachers in the house today. Awesome stuff, guys. You got to show some love for our teachers. Absolutely got to show some love for our teachers. They work just as hard, in my opinion, as any police department, fire department, hospital, nurse, doctor, or harder. So, absolutely. Please show our teachers some love. CZ and Miss Tandy with Seahawks fan definitely deserve it because they are some hardworking peeps. And we love you guys and appreciate everything you do for all of us and our children. So, thank you for all you do. Lala, welcome back to you. Noni is in the house celebrating 36 months with the cafe here. Thank you, Noni, for that. We love you. Always appreciate you and happy day anniversary to you. I hope you stick around for a lot longer as well. I love seeing these long-term members here, guys, that have been here for 3 and 4 years. It blows my mind. It really does. And it says something to me. Makes me feel like I actually am worth watching. I'll just tell you that much. So congrats, Noni, and God bless. We love you. Jilly Bean, good to see you today as well. Heaven, Iowa. Heaven, Iowa 9, welcome to you. And Stitches in the house again. Miss Sarah D. Irish. This lady right here packaged up those new documents all nice and neat for you. Right over on her Twitter page, guys. Make sure you're following her. If you don't have them, go check it out. I'm telling you, you will be super happy that you saw it because she does a great job keeping it all organized, as I always say, and puts a nice little bow right on top. So make sure you're following her on Twitter. You don't want to miss out on that for sure. And welcome, Sarah. It's wonderful to see you as always. Thank you for doing what you do. We appreciate you so very much. Listening while drinking. That sounds dangerous, Tomboy. Listen to me while drink. Oh, sugar-free Red Bull. Got you. That still could be dangerous. Listening to me while drinking could be a scary thing. Karmic Retribution, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. As always. Wendy Wells, welcome. Great to see you today. Ms. Mary Holtz back in the house. Good to see ya. Let's see. All lies. Pulpit 229. I love it. Welcome, Pulpit. Great to see ya. Miss Becca. Let's see. I'm making sure I'm not missing anybody in here. Looks like we got 72 peeps in the house with 31 likes, guys. Let's see if we can make that match, please, and thank ya. I'm listening while moving. Wow, mowing. Good stuff, bro. Don't cut your foot off now. Be careful now. I hope I don't say something and scare the hell out of you while you're mowing a patch of grass or something. New Mexico 444, welcome back to you. Great to see all these meatballs jumping in the sauce with us today. Let's spill some sauce for sure. That is definitely needed. 71 peeps and one vampire in the house here. 1-1 is definitely a vampire. No lie. He's as bad as I am with the sleeping thing. We don't ever sleep. All we need is an hour or two a night, and we're back to the grind. Let's see. Croft 6272, welcome to you. Come on in, come on in. Grab a seat. 81 peeps in the house now. It's moving up. 39 likes, guys. We're going to hang out. Robert, welcome. Good to see you. True Crime Unleashed. We're going to hang out and wait to get everybody in here as fast as we can before we get this kicked off. I think I'll go ahead and drop this link here in case anybody wants to join the Dago. I swear I showered today. I don't stink, so you're welcome to pop up here with me if you want to. And if you don't want to, it's quite understood. I can handle it. I can handle it. Sleep is overrated. I agree with that one, Miss Jody. We'll all sleep when we're dead. That's how I look at it. A long time. All right. So there is a link pinned to the top of the chat. If anybody wants to join me up here as we break down these documents little by little, please feel free. All right. He was not sleeping. It's them damn glasses. He was reading. He's got to get the screens set up so he doesn't have to look down to read things. Miss Sylvia, welcome to you, dear. Good to see you today. Good point, 1-1. You can't cover up crimes in your sleep. Very good point. Get up there. You'll have these new ducks. I think he's been going through them already. Karma Police in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ms. UK Jackie, you as well. 91 peeps. Come on, make sure you're hitting that like button when you come through that door, y'all. Please and thank you. Leave a little DNA up there. 42 likes so far. That's right. That's a good point. Vampires do sleep during the day, so nighttime comes. That's when they do their thing. Good point, Tandy. Turkey Creek, welcome back to you. Good to see you, dear. Oh, that's right. You did have that loss. I'm so sorry, Turkey Creek, and my condolences, deepest condolences. I'm so sorry. So sorry. We're all here with you, and virtual hugs to you, and God bless, dear. Absolute condolences to you, and I hope you're handling that okay, and that you will be. Just know that we're all here with you, and always will be. As long as you're part of this community, we got your back, dear. Absolutely. Thoughts and prayers for sure. Thank you. We do appreciate and love you, dear. You're not alone, that's for sure. Welcome, DJ Frankie Fitz in the house all the way from Ireland. Appreciate you. Love it. Love it. Amen to that one. Thank you, Heaven. Melissa D, welcome to you. Wendy Z2E2E, welcome to you. Come on in, everybody. Grab a seat. Oh, wait a minute. Give me just 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. I will be right back. All right, you all. Thank you. Sorry about that. Had to fix something real quick. Let's see who we got. Melissa D, good to see you. If I didn't say hi already, let me see. What do we have going on over here? Tomboy, hiya, trick flip kicking, ninja zip lining through hot sauce kicking, troll arse is out. And, and, and blocking their last names. How's that and how's you doing? I love it, Noni. That was awesome. That was great. That was great. I love it. That was awesome. You guys are great. You got that was good. I love that one, Noni. That was I did not expect you to say something like that. That was great. That was good. Very good. Looks like we got 86 peeps in the house. 52 likes. Come on in and hit that like button, guys, if you will. None your business in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Always know when SRB's about to walk in the door. Oh, yeah. You can always tell. There she is, Bubbles herself on a Saturday. Good to see you, SR Bubbles. Thank you for being here. Great to have you here. That still got me giggling, Noni. That was funny. Are you leaving, Ms. Rowe? Oh, I'm sorry, Ro. So sorry about that, dear. My deepest condolences to you as well. Thoughts and prayers with you and your family. Miss Jackie from the UK. Thank you so much, UK Jackie. Dropped the membership and then went directly to None Your Business. Welcome to the sauce. Congrats. Another meatball jumping in here with us. Oh, man. 79. Everybody's leaving now, huh? Okay. Somebody else either went live or they're just bored with. Maybe I'm being born again. Boring or annoying again. Who knows? Thank you so much, Jackie. Very, very much appreciated. Got you, Ro. Let's see here. What's going on? Oh, yep. Okay. Let's do this thing. Trying to hold off to see who else was going to jump in here before we got started. I don't want anybody to miss anything. Right turn, Clyde. Welcome. Good to see you. Yes, you are now a meatball. None your business. Welcome to the sauce. Good to see you, Miss Mary. Thank you for being here. Okay. Let me get this up and moving. Just 1 minute. I actually even know where the hell I want to start at. Let's see. Okey-dokey. Thank you, Ro. You are so very welcome. Welcome, Turkey Creek, and of course, Ro. Um, Thought Eddie might jump in here. He might be busy today. It's Saturday. Okay. Right, all right. Let's see here. Good doke. Thank you, Ro, again. Amy Oleski, welcome. Good to see you today. I guess we'll start here and move through, however. La 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 la. Okay. First thing I'm going to start with here. The defendant's objection to state's notice of intent to use IRE 404B evidence. Okay. Let's see. This one was filed March 17th of 2025 originally. Again, comes now Bryan Kohberger, Bryan through his attorney of record. Guys, we have that probably tattooed to the back of our brain. We've said that so many times. The state intends to present evidence of crimes, wrongs, or other acts. Specifically, the state intends to use the video of a traffic stop on August 21st of 22 and citation regarding the same traffic stop for purpose of proving the defendant's identity. We've already talked about this one a long time back. You guys know how that goes. And they still have everything redacted that is of any importance as we see. So On this one, the argument on this one was the state misconstrues the identity and aspect of Rule 404 because the August 21st of 22 traffic stop bears no resemblance to the crime charged and should be excluded from evidence. It basically, and I said this too, there's no reason for this to be used for this case. There's nothing, the traffic stop has nothing to do with the crimes. Okay. So then it says then that when the state presented the video of a traffic stop from August 21st, and the corresponding citation as evidence to the grand jury, a limiting instruction was given, stating that the evidence is redacted, of course. Sealed order denying motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of biased grand jury. That's interesting, don't you think? Inadmissible evidence. Lack of sufficient evidence and prosecutorial misconduct, page 43. The state misconstrues the identity aspect of Rule 404. Evidence of prior misconduct is irrelevant on the issue of identity when the evidence demonstrates sufficiently similar as well as distinctive characteristics or patterns between the prior misconduct and the charged crime. So, yeah, that's my point, Mama Five. They wanted to show his stupid ass, the damn bushy eyebrows that doesn't even pertain to this because she never said that, but okay. And then it states some case law. G Bean, what's going on, G Bean? Good to see you, dear. When the other act's evidence is introduced to prove identity as proposed by the state in this case, the characteristics of the other crime or act must be sufficiently distinctive to warrant an inference that the person who committed the act also committed the offense at issue. Neither the video or of a traffic stop, 21st, nor the corresponding citation are similar to the charged offense. Again, has nothing to do with the case. Ms. Sarah says 24 documents were released yesterday. We've seen 11 of them already from previous filings that were pulled back or PRR. The other 13 are new to us. Where do those start at, Sarah? Where does the new 13 start at? Because that's kind of what I more wanted to get into was the newer 13. Welcome, Beth. Good to see you. I just wanted to point out with this one, guys, that like once again, they're talking. The biggest thing to this one is they're talking about prosecutorial misconduct. Okay, that's the biggest point with this document to me. They're pointing it out once again. Okay, and we know how much the prosecution is screwed up on this. Does it show them, Sarah, on where they start off at? Because if that's the case, I'll jump directly to those. That's what I'd rather do anyway. Let me jump up here. I didn't know, Sarah. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. I thought you were just doing the Twitter thing. I would have been advertising that. All right, let me find you. Is it under Sarah D or is it something else, Sarah? There's like a bunch of Sarah D's. What is your avatar on the first ones you sent me? Okay, thank you, SRB. Well, I want to subscribe to Sarah's page too. And drop the link for it. Sarah D. Irish. Oh, okay. I see what I did. Is it the same avatar you have in here? Yep, there it is. I found it. Thank you, dear. All right. Subscribe there. And I'm going to drop the link here, you guys. Oh, you got it? Okay. Thank you, Esther. Well, we both do it then. Either way. All right, let me see. Oh, you're so very welcome. Thank you for what you do, Sarah. You keep this stuff together. You make it easy for us to find these things too. So the first thing I see here, I do believe. Let me see here. And I know I'll be corrected if I'm wrong. All right, cool. Thank you, SR. Bubbles. Yeah, I didn't know she had a YouTube channel. I would have said that first, but either way, the the Twitter stuff is just as good, if not better. But now that we know she has a YouTube, we'll be dropping that too. You're very helpful, Miss Sarah, always. And so the first thing I see in here, guys, is I believe this is one of the new ones. Exhibits 1, 2, and 3 in support of objection to the state's motion in limine. The admissibility of demonstrative exhibits. Comes now Bryan, Kohberger, Bryan through attorneys hereby files under seal exhibits 1, 2, 3 in support of their objection to the state's motion in limine for the admissibility of the demonstrative exhibits. I'm pretty sure this this is new. I've never seen this before. And it lists Exhibit 1, Defendants 11, Sup Request for Discovery, Exhibit 1A. Exhibit 2 would be email chain between Ashley Jennings, Bill Thompson, and Ann Taylor. And then Exhibit 3 is listed as email chain between Bill Thompson and Ann Taylor regarding new discovery disclosure, dated March 17th of 25. Yeah, this says 11th request. Welcome, Tomboy.
Hello.
How are you?
It's Saturday. I'm good.
That's good. Are you actually here or are you fishing?
Nope, not fishing. Still sitting at home.
Interesting. So this says, please take notice that the undersigned, pursuant to Rule 16 of Idaho Criminal Rules, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments to the Constitution of the United States and Articles 1, 2, 13, and 17 of the Constitution of the State of Idaho, request discovery and inspection of all materials discoverable by defendant per ICR. Guys, this is discovery number 11. Okay? All right, Sarah. Thank you so much, dear. We appreciate you.
Which one are you on? Because I went down and I scrolled. She said,
the first one I came to on the new ones.
It says the court approved 24 documents for release. We have already seen 11 of them because they were briefly posted before being pulled from the public page.
Right.
Or obtained via public records request. And then they said that leaves 13 documents.
I believe this is one of the new 13.
She has them in order. I think it's on her second post.
Okay, I went to hold on. Let me see something then. I went to the first. Here, let me show what I'm doing here. This is weird. It's like I've never done this before. It's been so long.
Scroll down. Keep going.
I can't. It doesn't go any further than this.
Okay, then hit back. Are you on her Twitter or her YouTube?
I'm on her YouTube channel where she said to go.
Okay.
To.
Go back a page. Hit your back arrow.
I can go to Twitter if I need to.
No, if you go click on posts, scroll down.
Where I'm at.
Scroll down. Right there. Now click on see more.
Oh, shit. What happened here?
Go up right there at the end of that second paragraph.
Here we go.
There you go. That's where I went. Those are the.
So this is the new 13 here then. Okay.
Yes.
My apologies. Sorry guys, it's been a minute. I don't know what we're looking for or not looking for, so this is new for me.
Well, these are the 13 that we have not seen.
Which is what I wanted to get to. So that's why I said I didn't know what they were going to be because we haven't seen them yet. So defendant's objection to state's notice of intent. I'm glad you came up here because you can help me with this.
I came up to help you read.
Thank you. Notice of intent to use IRE evidence. So this is, oh, goodness gracious. Lucy's in the house. Good to see you, dear. Thank you for joining us. Well, anyway, that one there, if we need to, we'll go back to that. I'd rather jump into the new stuff, though, guys, because I don't want to take all your time with old stuff. So this one reads, and I'm not going to read the beginning comes now shit because we've got that, like I said, tattooed in the back of our brain. The notice of intent to use IRE 404, evidence states 404B notice filed February 4th of this past year. The state intends to present evidence of crimes, wrongs, or other acts. Specifically, the state intends to use the video of this is the same one I was reading about the traffic stop. Okay. So I already did this.
Did you read all of their argument? Yeah.
Yeah, I went through all the argument already, and it's again the basis of this is that I said was important is it's pointing out prosecutorial misconduct is again, but again this has nothing to do with the crime, nothing. It's a traffic stop for Christ's sakes, okay? All they're doing is trying to show that look, Brian, this guy's got bushy eyebrows. Well, the bushy eyebrows don't matter because Dylan never said that. So, welcome, Doc J.
That's not why they were using it, but they were
Well,
using it to prove identity because remember he
I know
stood
that,
silent. Yeah, he stood silent.
but I still think that they wanted to point out his facial features and say, look, see, here he is. Look at his face. I'm just saying that's me, but I know why they were legally using it, and you're right about
Yeah.
that.
I still don't think he has bushy eyebrows. I think he
He
has
doesn't. He doesn't.
those his eye whatever you call them.
They're just. It's not.
I know. It's just dumb.
Okay, so it's stupid. Now knowing what we know now is way stupider than it was. Way more stupid than it was. Okay, I really just said stupider. I did take English class, folks.
I thought I was bad now in school in Idaho.
I'm surprised you didn't correct me. Jasmine Chantix, welcome.
I don't even think he has bushy, thick eyebrows. I think he has pronounced orbital bone
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, that's what it is. His forehead and everything pushes it out more, and it makes it look like there's more to it than it is. It's a visual effect. This one, we didn't see this either. The defendant's objection to state's motion in limine over the 911 call. Oh, you're going to ask Lucy if she missed you?
Oh, yes. Lucy, did you miss me?
All right. So again, comes now all that bullshit. Yeah. States hereby objects to the state's motion in limine to admit the 911 call and the accompanying transcript. The state relies on the exceptions to the hearsay rule and effect on listener. Mr. Kohberger's objection is grounded in his 5th and 6th and 14th constitutional rights amendments and Article 1, Section 13 of the Idaho Constitution. It says that the state correctly recognizes the statements on the 911 call are hearsay. Well, not only are they hearsay, they're mostly bullshit lies, but okay. Idaho rules of evidence make hearsay as inadmissible unless it meets with an exception. The state identifies 2 exceptions to the rule against hearsay and further recognizes all parts of the statement must meet the exception. The state must provide foundation for an excited utterance, and there's more case law cited there. I've always wondered and tried to understand why the defense wanted this withheld. But I don't, that's where I don't understand certain things within, legalese. So I'm curious. The state alleges the statements fall within the excited utterances or present sense impression exceptions to the hearsay rule or are non-testimonial.
The defense didn't want it admitted. The state didn't want the 911 call admitted. The defense said, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, but this is the defense saying.
No, this is
right.
Because they're
objecting to the state's motion to admit the 911 call is what they're doing here. So in turn, that's saying to me that they don't want it admitted. And that's what I didn't understand. I thought the state would want that admitted because it's proof thereof, in my opinion, that there's more lying going on.
Right. So the defense is saying, wait a minute, it falls under the excited utterance or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it explains the excited utterance. It has 2 requirements: an occurrence or event sufficiently startling to render inoperative the normal reflective thought process of an observer. Well, that's all stuff that it doesn't really matter. It says this 911 call did not come at 4:30 in the morning when Dylan and Bethany communicated with each other and ended up in the same bedroom. This 911 call came. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
This 911 call came 8 hours later. This call came after Dylan and Bethany each made calls, corresponded through text and other messaging to family and friends. The 911 call came only after friends arrived. Bethany initiated the 911 call, and thereafter the phone was passed from person to person. The state lays out only one statement as an excited utterance. The statements of EA when the phone was passed to her, Emily Onstadt, I'm sorry. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah. It says that's 3 page 2, line 69. The state claims these words are an excited utterance because they explain why Xana, oh, Jesus. Wait, why was that? Why Xana Carnudo was passed out. Okay, there we go. The state fails to take into account why the statement was made. Here, okay. The same transcript and same page reflect the dispatcher asking exactly what was going on. Emily stated, they really put the ums in there. One of the roommates who's passed out and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up. Either Bethany or Dylan said, no, we saw. And then after that prompt, Emily told dispatch about the man they saw. Thereafter, the phone was handed back to Dylan. The statements by Emily do not fit within excited utterance exception. She first states that she's reporting that a roommate who was passed out from drinking and not waking up. She then states that they saw some man in their house. Emily does not have firsthand information and is repeating what Dylan and Bethany told her. All of the
Hold on.
statements. Go ahead.
I have a concern with that because
Sure.
Emily was saying it one way, and then it's like they were coaching her how to say it appropriately.
Of course.
So it could be admitted.
Well, it's not considered an excited utterance if it comes that way. I think it's just hearsay as a statement.
Right. But the minute they said they saw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It becomes their statement, not hers. Right. I get it.
So it's like somebody was standing there coaching them on what to say.
Well, we all know that that's the truth anyway. It should have been admitted. I agree with that. Emily, which is what that means right there. This here, Emily does not have firsthand information and is repeating. So that tells you right there, folks. That's
Right.
exactly what Tomboy was talking about. In Mr. Kohberger's response to and I'm skipping through the important stuff and missing all these other things because it's not important, guys. It just takes more time. In Mr. Kohberger's response to the state's motion in limine, text messages, and testimony, he objects, in part based on completeness of the record, but also because a more complete record weighs against the state's motion. The phone activity of Dylan and Bethany shows the statements on the 911 call are not an excited utterance. Now, exhibit texting objection 1 and 2 on the first footnote says, are Mr. Kohberger's exhibits prepared from Dylan and Bethany's phone records? They are incorporated here by reference. So that's what what they're explaining with that. The phone activity is more extensive than a few messages between Dylan and Bethany. Phone activity did not stop once they were together. It did not begin right before the 911 call was called. Very good point. The 911 call was not contemporaneous with Dylan and Bethany's stated awareness of something happening in their house. 8 hours passed until they called their friends to come to the residence. An excited utterance is a statement that is made while under the influence of an event. The 911 call and statements contained therein came after conversation, calls, texts, internet surfing, and their other phone activity. The state claims that most of the statements in the 911 call meet the present sense impression except to the hearsay role. The state says this is so because they all saw Xana Carnudo unresponsive and were told to call 911. Idaho Rule of Evidence 803, present sense impression, a statement describing or explaining an event or condition made while or immediately after the declarant perceived it. The only possible statements that qualify are those regarding Xana being unresponsive. Statements regarding what Dylan and Bethany claimed they saw 8 hours earlier are not contemporaneous in time. Now, reviewing the grand jury testimony shows the state misplaces reliance on at least some of the statements about Xana. The state ignores Jesus Christ. Look at this. Previous sworn testimony when it claims the 911 call contains present sense impression because the declarants were observing Xana. And then, surprise, guys, JFK files. Look at all that redacted. It's disgusting to me. Well, I don't understand why this has to be redacted at this point. If you're all
Well,
you need to be
we
redacting are names and addresses of people. That's it.
yeah, and social security numbers.
Right. That's it. Nothing else. This is a closed case. This shouldn't be happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Welcome, Michelle. Good to see you. All of this is I want to know what that says that it had to be redacted. Unless it's a bunch of names, social security numbers, and addresses, that's absolutely bullshit. Okay.
This is the whole thing that the EWU is fighting for, because
Of course.
Moscow and all that, they're overstepping.
Way
over
overstepping.
exaggerating their redactions.
They're redacting nouns and verbs and pronouns and like, come on, you guys.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It is really ridiculous. I watched them redact like the word to and the and a and stuff like that. There's no reason for any of that. So, hold on one second. Give me one quick second.
I'll keep reading. This state has not identified what exception to this rule against hearsay apply to which statements, with the exception of the previously discussed statement. Review of the record and background show neither exception applies. The state relies on the conclusion reached by Judge in denying Mr. Kohberger's motion to dismiss the grand jury indictment. Mr. Kohberger disagrees with the conclusion and the state's reliance on the findings. Judge's findings do not include a full analysis of the applicable exception accompanied by the background information. This court is not bound by Judge's ruling. The law of this case doctrine applies where an appellate court pronounces a principle of law necessary to the decision. Ooh, State v. Garcia. The court has discretion to hear and decide the issues presented before the court. The court, as the trial court, discretion to change its own pretrial rulings, especially evidentiary rulings.
So much case law.
Confrontation. The 911 call contains little that fits within the exception of the rule against hearsay. The statements that they saw a man in the house are testimonial in nature. Witnesses will need to be in court to testify to satisfy the constitutionally protected. Yeah, I hate these words. Go ahead. Protected area of confrontation. Mr. Kohberger raises the same objections to the transcript being admitted. If the transcript is admitted, the court should only admit a version that is certified by a court reporter. Mr. Kohberger has a certified transcript prepared and provides it as an exhibit to this motion for use should the court allow the transcript be admitted. Mr. Kohberger objects to the state's motion and urges the court to deny it. Testimony in open court and subject to the adversarial process best protects Mr. Kohberger's constitutional rights.
And that's that.
That's all that is on that one.
Yeah. So what do you think on that? Any thoughts in general about the whole thing, other than this bullshit right here?
I think Hitler just did whatever he wanted.
Of course.
I don't think he dug into case law. I don't think he held his head up. That's all he did.
That's basically with his hand. Yeah. That's pretty much what he did in there. He did nothing. Well, except when it came to the prosecution. And then when the prosecution, did their thing, he jumped up and did his thing with them, because that's exactly what I believe. The 911 call is very important for multiple reasons. I agree with that, G. Because one, it's fake. Okay. Two, it should be, it explains and shows the I guess, for lack of better terms, the fuckery that was going on with, the case. and it's a 911 call, folks. In any case you look at, any case, especially a murder case, the call to 911 is like one of the most important things.
If a jury would have heard that 911 call, they would have been, what the hell? It doesn't make
100%.
sense. Yeah.
100%.
And why did you wait 8 hours?
That's probably the first thing the jury would say. What the hell
Yeah.
took you so long to call 911? What were you doing for 8 hours or 9 hours while you were waiting to call 911? And you were both sitting in this room in the ground floor bedroom. You both had phones in your hand. You were on your phones, your devices throughout the night. And you called friends and neighbors, but you didn't dial 911. Any jury that doesn't point that out doesn't need to be in a jury box. I'm sorry. Ridiculous. So, all right, let me see here.
Yeah, remember he didn't want this case to start out with the untruth, but he let the state lie the whole fucking way.
He was the untruth that started the case. So I'll give you guys options as to what we can jump to next. Okay, defendants object in the state's motion to limine read the self-authentication of records.
That's the like the Amazon, the DoorDash.
Yeah, right. Next, there's the exhibits 1, 2, and 3 to defendant's objection to the state's motion to limine read the AT&T timing and advance records. Exhibits defense objection to the state's motion to limine admissibility of demonstrative evidence. Motion in limine 14, read the statistical analysis. Motion in limine 5, read the inconclusive data. Notice of filing signed and notarized affidavit. The defendant's, notice of filing signed and notarized affidavit. Can't talk, sorry. Exhibits the defense second supplemental response to request for discovery. Read the expert witnesses. Order on the parties' agreement to not mention 2014 cell phone incident during trial, which was when Bryan stole his sister's phone. Again, has no consequence to this case. It should have never been even thrown out here, but whatever.
You're going to bring up something he did as a teenager?
I mean, yeah.
Did they even call the cops?
I think so. But his dad did it to prove a point to him, to teach him a lesson. This does not mean because he took his sister's cell phone because he had a drug problem that he's a murderer. It should have never been allowed. They're trying to prove, who he is as a person by doing that. That doesn't mean you're a killer because you took your sister's phone. Come on. You know what this says to me, Tomboy? You know what that says to me? That they didn't have a case. They had no other basis to support any of what they're calling Bryan out to be. Okay. So they were reaching in a high area to try to find anything, and none of it pertained to it. It's ridiculous. Exhibit S1 to the state's response to the defendant's seventh motion to compel. That one might be interesting. 51 of 91 docs left in the third batch to be released, says. More updates there. Let's see, what is this real quick? Oops, did I click the wrong thing? I think I did. Hold on.
Don't click on the photo.
No. All right, and that takes us to Sarah's Twitter.
Yeah, just hit your back button. Oh, those are all the documents themselves.
Now this one here, you guys, is the reported version of the interview with Bryan Kohberger. Now, I don't know how many of you saw or heard this. I think we should review it. I don't know. It's up to you. What do you think, Tomboy?
Right now?
Yeah, not right now, you don't think?
Or are you going to go back to the documents? That's just
yeah, I can go back to the documents.
Click your back. Oh, no, you're on a whole different page. There you go.
That's all that
AT&T timing records is what?
Okay.
The exhibits 1, 2, and 3.
Right here. I'm just trying to get to the new stuff that's of importance, guys.
These
So,
are these 13 right here on this little list are
yeah,
the new ones that are important.
right. Okay.
She didn't put the other ones that they released yesterday
Good
out,
stuff.
just
Good
these
stuff.
ones.
Loving it up. Good to see you, Michelle F. Welcome back. Dusty Lynn, moving forward. Thank you, G. All right. This is again, as Tomboy said, exhibits 1, 2, and 3 in support of the objection to the state's motion in limine. Re the AT&T timing advance records. Now we all know there was a lot of bullshit behind these records.
Well, yeah, there's 26 pages. Yep.
You're right. So again, all of this here, we know what that says there. It gives you. I just read those things to you. The email chain between law enforcement Jennings and Special Agent Balance. We all know there's a lot of bullshittery behind this. The AT&T warrants and the AT&T mobility carrier request form. So let me scroll.
Oh, this is the
Yeah. The email stuff. I'm gonna have to shrink that down a little bit. Hold
we
on.
read this before, right?
I don't remember if we did or if we didn't. It's been so damn long.
Oh no. This is the Ashley Jennings.
Yeah. So let me see. Can you
want
see
me
it
to read
okay?
Yeah, I can
'cause
see it. I
I'm
can
gonna
see it.
I have to grab another cup of coffee if you want to start it off.
Of course you have to have more coffee.
I've only had one cup today, believe that or not.
Only, huh?
I'll be right back.
Okay. It says this is just the email from Lawrence Mowry to Ashley Jennings, dated the 15th, regarding the AT&T tower dump. Ashley, AT&T has specific verbiage that used to be Nilo's, but apparently they changed it to locked bore. Can we add that to the advanced timing section? I got the attached back from Nick at the FBI with his recommendations. L. Oh, like he's special. And then I guess wait, what? Who is this? From Lawrence Mowry. Oh, here it is. No. Nilos became location database of record or locked bore a little while back. List that and timing advance since both are applicable with them now. That's from Nick Balance. And then again, do we need to use Nilos instead of timing and instead of advanced timing, or is AT generic enough to use? And then it says, how's this look? Oh, from Ashley Jennings, whatever. Next page. From Lawrence Mowry to something, I don't know who that is. Hello again. Thank you for your quick response regarding this exigent circumstance tower dump. I was wondering if it would be possible to request the timing advanced area search for all records and unique device or user identifiers pertaining to the timing advanced location information during the previously listed dates, times, and geographical boundaries. This information was not included in the tower dump records provided. If I need to provide another request form or affidavit or other documentation, please let me know. Their response was, the requested time frame for this tower dump is too broad. Please narrow down the requested time frame requested on the form and resubmit for processing, i.e. if the incident occurred at 0400 PST Pacific Standard Time, to ask for something like 0300 to 0500 Pacific Standard Time or 0330 to 0430 Pacific Standard Time. Thank you. Lawrence Mowry's response was, "Hello. After speaking with one of your helpful law enforcement specialists, please accept the following exigent form for review and processing for tower dump of tower or towers providing coverage to," they give the logistics, which is 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, "for 12 hours prior to and following the incident time of 11:13 at 0400 hours Pacific Standard Time. If there are any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you. Mowry."
Where did you go?
I am on page 5 of this.
You must have jumped to your own stuff. Got you.
Yeah, I can't scroll on yours.
So this was initially filed on January 9th of 23. Search warrant order authorizing installation and or use of pen. So this is how they caught Molly. Pen trap trace. Okay. Not saying that's what this is. I'm just letting you know that's how they found her. She didn't turn herself in. For those of you that want to believe her bullshit, it's been proven how much Lana did an amazing show last night, folks. And she's pointed out multiple things that Molly lied about. So just saying.
And this, apparently this one is all unredacted.
Really?
Yeah, it's big right on the front, unredacted.
We shall see.
Right.
This is the search warrant order authorizing installation and or of the pen registered trap and trace device. Okay. Any peace officer authorized to enforce or assist in enforcing any law of the state of Idaho. Brett Payne, having given me proof upon oath this day showing probable cause establishing grounds for issuing a search warrant and probable cause to believe there are records related to the crime of homicide at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, and are currently under the control of AT&T for historic call detail records for the telephone number blah, 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 8458 number. We know who that is, okay? With cell sites for all voice, SMS, and data connections between June 23rd of 22 to the present, to include a search warrant in order for pen register or trap and trace device. Subscriber or registration account information, including subscriber or registered username or identity, address, billing, payment information, account initiation, date, type of account, custom account features, additional phone numbers. Hold on. I know you guys can't see this. That might help, hopefully. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Where did I leave off at? Addresses, both physical and electronic, and or other contact info. Additional persons having authority on the account. Any additional accounts linked to the subject account charges for the target address, and any linked accounts and device identifying information for the the device using the target address, such as phone number, MAC address, IP, and other unique hardware and software identifiers, and usage and location info, including stored and transactional records for all voice, SMS, and data connections, such as inbound and outbound call, message radio, or other communication detail data, together with date and time of each communication, including positioning information such as GPS longitude, latitude, or multilateration or precision location, historical and prospective cell site location info, CSLI, or other info tending to reveal the proximate or precise location of the device associated with the above identified target address, E911 data for the target address, and for internet communications, details such as IP, port, socket address, VoIP address, routing information, the addresses from which the communications made, conducted, and terminated, content text or email header IP address, and other non-content information, and such as cell site positioning info, GPS longitude, latitude, or multilateration, or precision location, including RTT and LOCD BOR reports or similarly generated location info. timing advance and or true call or other info tending to reveal the approximate or precise location of the device associated with the target address, E911 data for the target address, and physical address of cellular antenna towers used by the customer's device, whether with RF coverage maps or satellite contacted or used by the above identified customer number, account, device, and periods of telephone activation and session times, duration, and the identity of any temporarily assigned network addresses and subscriber identity information for customers who contact or are contacted by the device using the target address. Jesus.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
You
got
are
two.
therefore commanded to search the above described premises for the property described above, to seize it if found, and bring it promptly to the court above named. The court above named. Oh. This warrant shall be executed within 14 days of issuance and is authorized for daytime and nighttime service. Daytime means the hours between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. Further, there is probable cause to believe that.
Hang on. You have the ability to keep reading, right? If I don't scroll?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to run to the bathroom as you're reading this. I'll be right back. Keep going.
Oh God, you just need.
I'm sorry.
You need.
I'm getting old. I can't hold it like anybody can.
Further, there is probable cause to believe that use of pen register and or trap and trace device will lead to law enforcement acquisition of real-time pen register and or trap and trace information, and that this information would be evidence related to the crimes of homicide, which are currently under the control of AT&T. The court finds that Brett Payne, investigating officer, and Ashley Jennings, senior deputy prosecutor, has certified to the court that the information likely to be obtained by such installation and use is relevant to the ongoing criminal investigation. Pursuant to Idaho Code 18-6722-2, the court finds that the identity of the person to whom the phone is leased or in whose name is listed on the telephone line to which the pen register or trap and trace device is to be attached to Bryan Kohberger. The identity of the person who is subject to the criminal investigation is Bryan Kohberger, who resides at 1630 North Valley Road, apartment G201, Pullman, Washington. The phone number is 509, and the physical location of the phone is currently Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, and the phone service provider is AT&T. The geographic limits of the trap and trace order are the United States and U.S. territories. It is hereby ordered, pursuant to Idaho Code 186722, that the above identified investigators and investigative agency are authorized to install and use a pen register to register, fill, record, and decode electronic or other impulses, including but not limited to dialing, routing, addressing, signs, and signaling information or other impulses that, together with date and time duration, identify the numbers dialed, electronic mail addressing or routing information, email address, IP address, and or other non-content information otherwise transmitted from the target address, and information tending to identify the device using the target address, including any of the unique identifiers for the device, including the information referenced above. They sure do repeat a lot of words in here that are unnecessary. It is further ordered, pursuant to Idaho Code 18-6722, that the above identified investigators and investigative agencies are authorized to install and use a trap and trace device to trace, identify, register, filter, record, and decode electronic or other impulses, including but not limited to dialing, routing, addressing, signs, and signaling information or other impulses that, together with date, time, and duration, identify the numbers dialed, electronic mail addressing or routing information, email address, IP address, and or other non-content information otherwise transmitted to the target address, or other impulses that identify the originating numbers or digital addresses from which a wire or electronic communication is transmitted, and if known, the customer or username or identity associated with the device number or address sending communications, signals, messages, or other electronic impulses to the above identified target addresses from any location within the United States. It is further ordered, based upon probable cause, that the above identified service provider, investigators, and investigative agencies are authorized to use a cell site simulator in connection with the target address, and that any cell site simulator device may be used in any geographic area necessary to locate the device using the target address in real time, and that the above listed service provider or any other person served with this order shall, upon request by law enforcement, assist by providing a 24-hour basis the listed investigative agency with all information tending to reveal or lead to learning the location of the device using the target address, including positioning information such as GPS longitude or latitude, or multilateration or precision location, prospective cell site location information, CSL, or other information tending to reveal the proximate or precise location of the device associated with the target address, including positioning information such as GPS, longitude, latitude, or multilateration or precision location, prospective cell site location information, or other information tending to reveal the proximate precise location of the device associated with the target address. And it is further ordered, for the purpose of this order, the terms cell site simulator and cell site simulator data include pen register and trap and trace, and data derived from pen register and or trap and trace for the target device. Those terms are defined by Idaho code and also includes real-time location information collected by law enforcement operations cell site simulator device and or by a service provider when, at law enforcement's request, the provider deliberately seeks to locate the target device to the extent the terms or technology overlap.
I mean, stop and recheck.
Stopping to recheck.
Lucy said we already have these in the Frank's suppression hearing filings.
Okay, good. Thank God. But let me
Yeah.
scroll down, see what else is in this one. Because I know it cannot all be this pen
It's-
trap and trace.
That's what I'm looking to see too. Like what else is in here? Because it's got to be other stuff.
It's another search warrant. This is for his phone number again. It's the
Right.
same thing.
Yeah, I hate that they do. They do a
Oh,
lot of multiple filings.
And then they have the AT&T mobility carrier request form. Oh,
Is that down further than?
I'm on page 17.
Hold on. Search warrant. Page 3. Search warrant. Okay, you went way down. All right, hold on. Here we
Yeah,
go.
because all the rest are search warrant.
Yeah.
It's for his phone number and all the information and stuff. This
So
is
this
the,
is the carrier request for the FBI. Seth Footlick. What a name. Footlick. Wow.
additional contacts: Brandon Wilson, Eric Valens, Ken Watson, Seth Putlick, Robert Wilson, Brian Woodall, Karen Capson, Michael Cohn, Mandy Valens, and Jeremy Nielsen.
Signed by Miss Megan Marshall.
Yeah, who else?
Yep. Call detail records. CDR. This again, guys, goes back to
the FBI.
Yeah, all the FBI.
yeah. Non-disclosure order included. Past 7 days of timing advance data as available. Please include cellular analysis survey. Team SA, Sean Kennedy. as well as Nick Balance and Anthony Vega as additional contacts. Again, I've been screaming about this. A lot of us have. Look at the name right there, FBI. Okay, they don't need any special ability, or they have the ability to get anything they want whenever they want. Okay, so them stating they couldn't get this or get that was a lie. Additional contacts are all these people. Well, at least we have these names now, just in case. But I don't know that it'll make a difference. Proprietary bulk e-data collection tools are built here beyond radio frequency. Okay, whatever that means. You got to speak English, Lucy. Another search warrant
This
order
is
off.
the same. This is the same thing that we just read from Brett
Right.
Bain.
Exactly. Again, another multi.
It's repetitive. It's all repetitive.
That's all they do constantly.
No wonder they
repeating.
confused poor Ann Taylor. They sent 9
everybody.
copies of one freaking thing.
Right. So this is it then, as far as this. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. This is all the same stuff,
Wait.
guys. So there's
Scroll back up just a hair. What's the date on that? 23rd of
23rd of
December.
December 23rd, but up here it said February.
No, she signed
See?
it.
Oh, that's when it's to be completed. I'm sorry.
Well, they only had 14 days, so from the 23rd of December. So they
Yeah.
had his name long before this.
We've been saying that.
Well,
Truly
I
and
read it.
honestly.
I read in some of the stuff the other day that on the emails to Riley Nolan that
Yeah.
they had a suspect's name as early as the 16th.
Right. Well, we also heard something beyond that, going backwards a little bit, that they had his name
Yeah, as early
Like-
as the 16th.
3 days after the murders, folks. So yeah.
Yeah.
Lucy, what do you think would be besides that, the next best thing to pull up here, importance wise? And what do you think, Tomboy, as well? The cell phone thing, there's no point in that. Inconclusive data, unredacted. Defendant's motion lemony 5, read the inconclusive data. Oh, the warrant for the pen, trap, and trace was only good for 60 days. Okay. Are y'all saying there's dishonest?
That
No.
would make it make sense. Yeah, that's why I thought.
Uh-huh. Right. Never. I would never say that, Tandy. Come on. This case is 100% on the up and up. Come on.
Lucy, stop laughing because I know you're totally laughing out loud right now. My
exhibit
guess would
testimony.
be like the request for discovery regarding expert witnesses.
That's what I was thinking too. Right there.
You want me to scroll through it and see if it's 31 pages. It might be interesting.
She was
Yeah,
laughing at
right.
me.
Okay, so this is the index. Yeah, let me blow this up a little bit for y'all.
So
Okay.
really, okay, so you have to go to there it is.
David Howell,
Amazon guy.
right? His testimony would be based off his experience, education, and trainings as detailed in his resume. Okay. We don't none of that matters to me. Okay, this is like a waste of time. Any testimony from anybody, show a fucking receipt. That's what they need to show from Amazon, that he purchased what they said he purchased, other than the basis of looking at what could have been looked at. Okay. Inconclusive data has some interesting info. Thank you, Lucy.
The what? What did she say?
The inconclusive data, which we can go to that next. And she said yes, those two. Welcome,
Oh,
Agape.
okay.
So these are good. And then, like I'm saying, any testimony from somebody testifying as to the Amazon bullshit, it doesn't mean anything to me. Show me a receipt. That's what I want to see. Welcome, Liv Levin. Good to have you here.
That's what he's saying. That I'm kind of glancing through this.
Welcome, Greg.
He's basically saying that evaluation of metadata, timestamps, and tracking information within the Amazon data to assess reliability and forensic validity.
Right.
Identification of gaps in data provided by the state and how missing elements impact forensic accuracy.
The bottom right here says it all, in my opinion. Right.
I can't. Hold on. I need to go back.
It's just what you were saying. The limited data set does not include key forensic elements necessary for a comprehensive analysis, including sponsored ad exposure records, algorithmic recommendation tracking, complete purchase and browsing history, cross-device usage logs, and user attribution data. And here's the big thing right here. Without a full forensic data set, conclusions drawn from the available info lack reliability and are inherently incomplete. Bingo. There's no proof of this. That means to me that they have no proof that he did this. Okay? That's how I read this. Incomplete. We don't, so show a fucking receipt. It shouldn't be that hard to pull a receipt on this if this was purchased. Am I wrong?
Correct. If they purchased it, it'll be in his Amazon list.
There would be a receipt. Thank you. I get him with everything I get from Amazon. There's no fucking receipt. You know why? Because this didn't happen this way, I don't think. And I think they just absolutely cannot show this because it's not what they're claiming it to be. And that's why we never saw a receipt. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're trying to prove somebody purchased something and then used it as a murder weapon to commit a murder,
that would have been the first damn thing you showed.
Yes, thank you. That's the first thing I'm going to say is like, look, guys, here it is. He bought it on this day, that date, so on and so forth. And here it is. Okay. It was received on this date. All of that. Here's the receipt for Bryan Kohberger purchasing this weapon. End of story. And they never showed it. Never showed it. Yeah,
it says a Michael Simple searching by experience. Amazon actively pushes promoted content through AI-driven and ad targeting.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I agree with Sarge on this, Tomboy, and all of the rest of you guys, okay? There was a knife when they did the search warrant at his parents' house that they found a list of things, multiple knives. One of those knives was nondescript. One of them, okay? Everything else was described very well. One of the knives was nondescript, and I'm telling you, if Bryan Kohberger purchased this knife from Amazon, that's the one. And I believe the reason it was nondescript because then it would point out to the fact that it was at his parents' house. It was not in Idaho. It was in Pennsylvania, and that couldn't happen. This is my opinion, and Sarge's as well. Sarge came up with the idea, and I'm starting to agree with him. I don't think the knife, if it was purchased, for sure. Now, remember one thing with the Amazon shit, too. It was a family account. Okay? So, Michael and Marianne and Bryan and Amanda and Melissa all could have used this account. They never pointed directly to Bryan with this. They couldn't. And again, when they served the search warrant at the parents' house in Pennsylvania, there's a list of things. There was 2 or 3 knives found, and each one of them was described except one. That one is the one that I believe, if it was purchased, is what it was. Because if they would have described a 7-inch USMC Marine Corps knife, K-bar knife, guess what would have happened right there? It's at his parents' house. It would have shown no DNA on it, I guarantee you, from any of the victims, and it would have killed it. That would have killed the case right there with that damn knife. So I really think it's very possible that knife right there is the one, if it was this one that was purchased. I'm just saying. Livs just said, which even if they could muster up this receipt, while it doesn't look good, it still doesn't confirm that. Yeah, right. Good point, Liv. Very good point. And I still don't think it was. A 7-inch by 1.5-inch blade did not do these injuries like this. A couple of them it could have, but I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I still think a machete was one of the main weapons used, truly and honestly, amongst other things, but not that damn knife. I think, and Tomboy said this, Jesus Christ, what, in the beginning of the case? Pretty close to. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but she said she believes that Brett or somebody else brought that sheath in that house. We all know that it was placed there. We all know that it was planted there. We just don't know by who and when for sure. It was not where they found it. Okay. Even Brian's dad knows that. Brian's dad says in the Patterson book, he goes, they did not find that knife sheath when and where they said. How does he know that? That'll tell you right there.
It was Truth Nation Uncensored, which is Willie. He's the YouTube creator that talked to BK's dad at
it's
some
CBS.
store.
Yes. David Howe, compliance expert, author, podcast host. Okay, yeah. See now.
That just goes in through his
background.
Well, he's a Boise State graduate.
I don't. There's nothing to do with, we don't need all that. So then
Nope.
Gary Shetler, PhD.
He's the DNA guy.
Yep.
I think that I'm going to go back to my comment that I made just a minute ago. I think Bryan may have stumbled upon the SA incidents with
WSU. Yeah.
And the WSU police. I think he may have just stumbled on that. And I think they may have known it.
Damn it, out of my head. This is something I thought about before, but I never could put this together, Tomboy. Let's say that. Let's go there for a minute, you guys. Take a minute off of this and go there. Let's say what she just said is fact, okay? We know Bryan he was a student as well as a TA, and he was writing papers. We saw the papers he was writing and things he was looking into, right? Again, don't forget what Bryan was studying to be, cloud forensics. Let's talk about that. Computers, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, we also know that there was a lot of SA abuse on campus from WSU police. And I'll call out Pullman as well. I don't care. Okay. Because mostly WSU, but everybody within the WSU police force, there was, how many people left, Tomboy? It was like the chief, the assistant chief, the captain.
I think there was 4, maybe 5.
Right. There was a sergeant that was called out by name. And then Jenke left. Okay, so let's just go there real quick. I wonder, when Bryan did his interview with Chief Jenkins, did he bring this up? Because Bryan is matter of fact, okay? Bryan doesn't see things for the sideways things, okay? He just sees it straight on. In wanting to impress the chief to get the job, I could see him saying, did you know this, and this was going on? Maybe you should look at this. And again, I said this a couple years ago, maybe Jenke had a holy shit moment and said, this is a problem. Okay, this is the problem. But my problem is how and why. I will say this. WSU, Pullman, and Moscow work together very closely. Okay?
Not normally.
Well, it said they did. For everything we've reviewed, it says that they do. I don't know, you guys. I'm just trying to put that together because that would make some sense. That if he found out some things that he was going to make public or could make public, what's the best way to shut him down? You know?
I think maybe he may have been handed something and said, here, can you look into this? And he may have stumbled upon something he shouldn't have seen. And so at that point, he may have been on their list.
That could be too. That makes sense.
And Lana pulled up, who was it? Curtis Whitman?
Yeah, Curtis Whitman. The dude that left, took time off work from 4 to 7. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have always said, who better than to clean up a crime scene but
law enforcement is what I've been saying too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lana swears to God When I asked her about the cleanup, and I brought that to the table when she joined us on the verdict room that night, I asked her, what are your thoughts on the cleanup? I didn't even get the whole question out. Law enforcement, period. That's how she said it. Well, okay. And that's when it clicked for me, too. I was like, yeah, who'd be the best person to clean up a crime scene? Somebody that knows exactly what they're looking for. Okay. That can't be here. That can't be here. We need to move that. That has to be removed. That can't be there. Clean it up. I agree. 1 second here. Welcome, Greg. My sweetie worked at Wazoo in mental health. Follow the narrative. Where's the deletion weapon and the bloodstained clothing? I believe they were taken by the real perpetrators, Greg. More than one weapon, more than one set of bloodstained clothing, in my opinion. They were taken when those people left and probably burnt, disposed of somewhere like that. I mean, we don't know where, but it could be anywhere that they did that. Candy girl, good to see you. Terry Don, welcome. Terry says, I think he was looking into the case, either got too close and was a patsy, or maybe he is assigned, but leaning more towards patsy, but I definitely feel he was looking into the case and knew a lot. Well, I don't know that it was this case that he was looking into.
I think she may be talking about the WSU.
Oh, I mean, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Agape says, Terry, I speculated since early that Bryan found something, revealed it to get that job interview, and then showed them more during. Right. It could be that too. There's what? Okay. We have to accept one thing for sure. Bryan didn't just come out of nowhere. Okay. He didn't just come out of nowhere. Now, I still have questions about other things because he was referred to Wazoo by one of his professors at the sales. And I have to wonder if there were any special programs that were running that they were looking for or recruiting because of the parallel investigations that were going on with the task force and so on and so forth to help them find certain things out. I'm just curious. Okay, I'm not saying that's what it was, but I am definitely curious. And it makes me wonder. Jasmine said, I think Bethany's painting is a clue where evidence was thrown. It could be. That's an interesting point. Someone with knowledge. Sorry. I don't know what you mean, bud. My apologies.
Oh, he said who was talking. If you go back up, he said who was talking. Who's talking? Goodness sakes.
I said why? Because someone with knowledge.
Oh,
I'm
who's
Tomboy.
talking?
I'm Tomboy.
And I asked him why.
Curtis Whitman sealed it for you. That's definitely an interesting point. So, based on what Lana said last night, okay, she didn't say it's a fact. Okay, what she was stating is that it could point to and would make some sense that Curtis Whitman left between 4 and 7 that morning, right after the crimes was committed, from work. Took time off of work. Where did he go? We all know that Molly was a CI. We all know that CIs work for specific officers. And basically, Lana was leaning towards the fact, is it possible that Molly maybe have been Whitman's CI and they met up right before this? Was Molly wandering? And I came to this conclusion, what I'm getting ready to say now. It wasn't her, but was Molly wandering around looking for, waiting for somebody to show up when she's walking the street like that, looking at her phone? Is that what was going on possibly? I don't know, but we've come to find out Molly's lied about just about everything she's talked about. Welcome, Kim. Truly, almost everything she's talked about. She's an absolute liar, folks. Absolute liar. Just saying.
I know what Kim had said earlier that there's emails between Moscow PD and Pullman PD and WSU and all that, but history, they weren't They've not always been great communicators. Let's just say that.
That's a good point. That's a huge point. Was Molly looking for Murphy? That I don't know. Rabbit holes are deep. They are very deep. I agree with you. I believe me. I wish there weren't as many as there are, but
I haven't been able to dig myself out of a hole yet.
um, 1 minute.
I can remember you could, let's just say you could be in Pullman and you get pulled over and you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to deal with this traffic stop or whatever you might be. And you're going to hit that state line and Moscow doesn't give a shit. Keep going. We're not going to help them out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same when you're going from Spokane to Coeur d'Alene because you're crossing over the state line. There's like no communication. They just, oh well. I mean, Janelle Braun, her traffic run is a prime example. They just escorted her to Washington. They didn't even care. Oh.
Sorry, I was reading something. So moving on. So this what the hell was his name again? Gary Shetler was another DNA expert for the defense, testifying about regarding DNA testing and lab practices. Okay. The summary of his anticipated testimony, but does not repeat all specific findings. Let's see here. I don't want to know their background. I don't care.
Yeah.
Materials received and basis of opinions formulated. There were 10 discovery submissions received in 23 and 8 in 24. These submissions included 95 folders, 31 subfolders, containing about 696 PDF files with over 15,000 of redacted and unredacted pages and over 13,000 photos, 375 JPEG files, 159 email files, and DNA data files. My opinions were formulated by examining these materials for information relevant to the forensic biology screening and DNA analysis work conducted in the investigation. These discover materials included DNA analysis data along with the lab reports, analyst notes, and worksheets from the ISP Forensic Lab, the ISPFS Biology DNA Casework Methods, Rev 12 Biology DNA Quality Manual Rev 11, Evidence Procedure Manual Rev 2, and Quality Manual Rev 8 were also accessed. The above documents were reviewed as requested by counsel and opinions were formulated. I summarized and organized the results from biology and DNA reports, reanalyzed the DNA run data, and reviewed analyst notes, worksheets, and reports for any significant shortcomings, mistakes, omissions, etc. No significant impactful issues were observed in the protocol and procedures used. Overall, the ISPFS DNA analysis lab work, in my opinion, was done to a high standard. However, Documentation in the case file was poor. Surprise. Notes for evidence examination had minimal detail of how items were examined. Again, surprise. This issue of concern was evident in the lack of detail documented about how the knife sheath was co-examined at the time of the biology and latent prints examination. The only description on the swabbing of the front strap was for the biology note stated used one swab to swab front strap equals item. So they did the very least that they had to do to make this shit happen. Okay? Both the latent print lab notes for Tina Walthall and biology lab notes for Stephanie Wiltz did not have the detail of Ryland Nolan's December 12, 1322 emails to Talbot on how the knife sheath was examined and swabbed to preserve potential latent print evidence on the top of the snap cap.
But
Wait a
it
minute.
wasn't on the snap cap. It was on the sheet. It's on the strap.
Well, they were talking about the latent prints on the cap, meaning
What-
remember how
what page are you on?
it says 004171.
No, the page up at the
Page
top.
2. Or wait,
What page? Look on the gray part.
it's page 2.
Nope. Up.
Right there on the side it says page
Up.
2.
Nope.
What?
Don't scroll up. You go to your arrow. Go up. Don't scroll. Go up. Just drag
Oh,
your arrow.
14.
Thank you.
I was just pointing to the side there. It says 2 of this document.
Lucy.
For goodness sakes, Dago. Go back to sleep.
All you had to say was go up to the top bar where it has
I did.
Anyway. The point that I was making, though, is... What the hell? Where was it? Okay, there it is. On how the knife sheath was examined and swabbed to preserve potential latent print evidence on the top of the snap cap. Remember that whole thing we went through about how they couldn't test it because they were preserving the fingerprints on the thing?
Yes.
That's what this is in relation to, I believe, from what I'm reading. It said it required Ms. Nolan to contact one of the forensic scientists to pull all that detail together to respond to the inquiry from Talbot on how that exhibit was processed. It certainly wasn't in either the latent print or biology notes from the discovery material examined. Good documentation can prevent problems of this nature and help mitigate memory lapse. Let me say something here, okay? First and foremost, how many cases have you guys looked into or seen or read about or heard about that has as many problems? Typically, when you read through these things, everything just falls into place. Everything looks good. Everything's what it is. Here it is, so on and so forth. Every damn document we read, there's something that was wrong, okay? I think that within itself tells you how many problems this case has.
Well, that statement right there that they just said, good documentation can prevent problems of this nature and help mitigate memory lapses.
But see, they know how.
All of the state of Idaho has one huge memory lapse.
But they know how to document, Tomboy. That's the point I'm making. They know how to do it the right way. They wouldn't be in the positions they're in if they didn't. Okay? So, in my opinion, it's not coincidental that it was poor documentation. It's obvious that it was done on purpose like this to to make these problems a real thing.
It started with poor investigation.
Right, but it all plays into the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it says, Detective Talbot on how that exhibit was processed. It certainly wasn't in either the latent print or biology notes from the discovery material examined, which it should have been. Good documentation can prevent problems of this nature and help mitigate memory lapses, like she just said. And then she says there were also at least 9 male DNA reference samples collected but not typed. Surprise.
They may have matched unknown male B or D and provided pertinent information to help with the investigation. You mean they didn't test him? Oh no.
Yeah, they might have matched to unknown male B or D and provided right. Bingo. But it's obvious they did that on purpose. Congrats and welcome to the Sauce Butterfly Kisses. Thank you for joining us, dear. We do appreciate you. Let me see here. There are limitations of what information the forensic biology and DNA evidence analysis results can provide. To understand the DNA evidence in this homicide case, investigation is helpful to consider the following questions. In particular, for the only DNA profiles reported that were recovered from the inside crime scene, evidence that were not consistent with any of the victims. It is not unreasonable to expect that the perpetrators of, you see how they threw that S on there, of such a violent crime would have left traces of DNA and possibly blood. And I know they're supposed to with the S, but I'm just pointing that out. Whose unknown DNA was recovered from the DNA evidence? There were only 2 unknown male DNA profiles reported that were recovered from inside crime scene evidence that were not consistent with the victim, Ethan Chapin. One was called unknown male A from the item 11 swab of the front strap on the K-bar knife sheath, found close to a victim's body, of which only the defendant cannot be excluded as contributor. But that's not true, though. The other was called unknown male
No,
B from
he's getting to it. Keep
Who?
reading. Keep
Who's
reading.
getting to it? Oh no, I know that. I was just saying.
Yeah.
Unknown male A from item 11 swab front strap of okay, yeah, which only the defendant cannot be excluded from as contributor. The other was called unknown male B from item 30, a swab of a small red stain on the underside of the stair handrail, north wall between first and second floors. ISPFS crime scene marker identifier B that excluded all 18 males who had their reference samples collected and tested. This presumed bloodstains location was near presumed bloodstains item 31-1, ISPFS crime scene marker identifier D, found to be consistent with victim Ethan Chapin, and presumed bloodstains item number 72 on the north wall of the stairwell and 73 on the half wall, ISP D2 crime scene marker identifier 23 and 26, respectively, that were reported to be consistent with victims Kaylee and Madison. Refer to photos and references we know. Okay, so I'm trying to think now. What the hell was I thinking? Come on. I just had a thought and I completely lost it.
This guy is saying that you know how I can't remember which officer, somebody recently said that it, how do we know that it wasn't there before? The blood wasn't there before.
Yeah.
That this guy is saying it wasn't.
Okay. What body fluid cell material did the DNA come from? No body fluid testing of item 11 swab of the K-bar sheath front strap was reported. A positive presumptive test for blood was reported from the item 30. A swab of a small red stain. Understand? Yeah, I read that already. I'm sorry. When did the male DNA get deposited? There are no reliable, widely adopted tests to determine when DNA from biological material was deposited. In this case, neither of the item 11 swab of the K-bar sheath front strap male DNA profile or the item 30, that stain underneath the stairrail handrail DNA profile exhibited severe degradation, often associated with deposits of okay, so meaning that's how you know if it had not been there for a long time. It was
Right.
newer. It wasn't degraded enough to be old. Um, let's see. How did the male DNA get deposited? The DNA recovered from one swab of the K-bar front strap could have come from direct contact, if from skin cells, and or by deposits of body fluids with DNA content such as saliva or sweat. There is no confirmatory test, or standardized set of factors to support that a specific sample was deposited by direct means versus indirect means. A probabilistic mathematical approach would be required to evaluate one activity as opposed to the other, of course. The DNA recovered from the presumed blood stain on the underside of the stair handrail north wall between first and second floors, item 30, must have been deposited after some minor injury by direct contact or indirect contact, secondary transfer. But it cannot be determined if the DNA recovered was deposited passively before the crime or actively during the crime. You mean maybe like a cut to the side of your hand here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like reading that next paragraph?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were missed opportunities with the CODIS. The number of perpetrators involved in committing this complex crime is unknown. It would have been prudent to have considered that more than one of the unknown male profiles might be involved and use CODIS to help answer that question as a case approach strategy by the lead law enforcement agency instead of assuming only one possible perpetrator. The only unknown male A was searched and uploaded to the NDIS database. Furthermore, not all forensic unknown DNA profiles are eligible for the NDIS upload and would only be in the state DNA index system. Manual or one-time keyboard searches can be done with forensic unknown DNA profiles that have a minimum of at least 6 original CODIS core loci and a moderate match estimate, or at least 60,000 as calculated by the CODIS software. Laboratory to laboratory one-time search requests can be done between NDIS participating laboratories to search state databases from neighboring states. No manual search requests appear to have been made for any of the unknown male profiles A, B, or D. Huh. Well, he did say he couldn't run them.
Right.
This is just more of his specialties, his background.
Right.
Jesus, how many pages is there?
Oh my God, they focused more on his background than they did anything. Good God, come on. This is his background, so I get it. He knows what he's doing.
He did say that it didn't show in anything that the blood was degraded, so it wasn't.
It was
old.
new. It was
yeah,
new.
it was new.
Which would match up with it being from that night. So I get it. All right, so that's it. As far as that goes, what was the other thing that she said? Oh, the inconclusive. Hold on.
Directly right below that, the inconclusive data.
Right. Right there. Okay. Blow that. You're fine.
Shelby gave me her code.
Oh, great.
I know. Told you.
Damn you. Damn you, crusty booby. Yes. Damn crusty booby germs. Okay, so motion in limine number 5, inconclusive data. Again, all the stuff there. Allowing such testimony would violate Mr. Kohberger's federal and state constitutional rights to due process, a fair trial, effective assistance of counsel, and confrontation of witnesses. This motion is based on the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution in Idaho. Constitution Article 113 and Idaho Criminal Rule 16, Idaho Rules of Evidence 102, 104, 701, 702, and 703. The requested limits are made to secure fairness in administration to the end the truth may be ascertained, and proceedings justly determined. Further, the above requested matters are ripe for consideration by the court pursuant to IRE 104, based on the existence of issues that involve preliminary questions of admissibility. Statement of facts is that in the grand jury testimony, Jade Miller testifies as to the results of testing done on why did I sound all southern there? Item Q13.1, a swab of the left fingernail clippings of Maddie Mogan. The data consisted of 3-person mixture. The statistic and the likelihood ratio was calculated assuming that Maddie was a contributor to her own fingernails. Miller testified that Maddie, as followed, this DNA profile is at least 77,900,000 times more likely to be seen if it resulted from a mixture of DNA from Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, an unrelated randomly selected individual, than if it resulted from DNA from Madison Mogan and 2 unrelated randomly selected individuals during grand jury trust transcript 366. That's what we need to see. The data from the sample was inconclusive as to Mr. Kohberger, grand jury transcript, I can't talk today, 365, 366. Miller testified that inconclusive means that an analyst is unable to say one way or another whether or not Bryan is included in the mixture. Transcript at 366, Miller went on to explain that the likelihood ratio for Mr. Kohberger was 0.0469 and that any number less than 0.01 supported exclusion. Coming from transcript number 367. Now, do you want to read the argument or do you want me to?
I will. The use of misleading language confuses and misleads the finder of fact and is barred by rules 402 and 403, as well as due process, in that the evidence is overly prejudicial. The erroneous admission of irrelevant and prejudicial evidence will offend due process when it renders a trial fundamentally unfair. Here, expanding beyond the language of the report would prejudice Mr. Kohberger in that it might allow the jury to infer that the inconclusive data would mean that he might be included. LRs are different from traditional statistics that courts and juries are used to seeing and hearing. The LR, which is likelihood ratio, is a comparison of hypotheses. It is not a statement of identity or probability of identity. It simply asks the question, given the data, which hypothesis tested is more likely? For item Q13.1, both hypotheses tested for each individual assumed that MM's DNA was present. So when the lab generated a likelihood ratio laid out above, the hypotheses tested were Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, and 1 known unrelated person versus Madison Mogan and 2 unrelated persons. This comparison was done for all of the individuals listed in report number 7 and for Mr. Kohberger in report number 26.1. And that says motion in limine number 5, Exhibit 1, ISP Lab Report 7 and 26. At the ISP lab, any number greater than 100 is considered a conclusive result indicating inclusion. Any number less than 0.01 is considered a conclusive result indicating exclusion. If a likelihood ratio falls within the range of 0.01 to 100, the lab cannot draw any conclusions and the data is reported as inconclusive. In her testimony, Miller did not provide a full context to the analysis. The lab reported a series of likelihood ratios for items 13.1, including an LR of 0.039 0.49 for Jack Decor, 0.485 for Kohberger, 0.20 for Xana Kernodle, and 0.0233 for Bethany Funk. Lab report number 7 at 3, all of these individuals sit in the same shoe as Mr. Kohberger, namely that the LR exclusionary but falls in the range of inconclusive. Of interest is that when an LR is calculated for Ethan Chapin, the lab report reported 3.33. Thus, Mr. Kohberger's inconclusive LR is similar to almost every other person for whom an LR was generated, and focused on his inconclusive LR would mislead the jury. That implies that the LR means that Mr. Kohberger's DNA might be present in the sample. This court should exclude testimony such as, "That's a range that we determined that there's not enough information to say or conclude one way or another about someone to be a contributor." Grand jury transcript at 367. More importantly, Mr. Kohberger has disclosed that through further independent laboratory testing, he is eliminated as a contributor to item 13.1. When Mr. Kohberger sought to overturn the grand jury indictment, he argued that Miller's testimony was inadmissible and misleading. The state argued that this testimony was presented to the grand jury as exculpatory in an effort to elicit favorable evidence for Mr. Kohberger. The independent lab testing conducted by the defense related to item 13.1 is indeed exculpatory. Mr. Kohberger is excluded, and the state should be precluded from misleading the jury in any way. Conclusion: a fair trial is mandated by Mr. Kohberger's federal and state constitutional rights to due process, a fair trial, effective assistance of counsel, and confrontation of witnesses. U.S. Constitution amends 5th, 6th, and what is it?
14.
10,
I think.
14. Yeah, 14. I had to remember what that was. Idaho Constitution, art. Well, okay, yeah, all that. And dated this 24th day of February 2025.
And that is signed by Miss Becca Barlow.
And here is the
But look what they did. Look what they did there. They whited that out, unless it was a screw up, or did they have somebody else sign that first?
It actually looks like it may have been. It's like, you know how you can roll on somebody's signature?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, interesting. And then that shows, which I believe we've seen this before.
Yes, we have.
These are all the people that they just listed.
Yeah.
But they have a subject listed as Jose Cruz, which if you don't remember who that was, I think he's been excluded at this point.
Yeah.
I thought.
All the blood that they have tested in all the reports that they have given, they have all been excluded, except one report that they have, if they tested it, they never said. There's nothing in here about that, and that's Mowich.
Yeah.
They had his DNA, but it never says whether or not he was ever tested or anything, but yet they've reported everybody else that they've tested.
Well, that's why a lot of people can't get on board with him, because they've never said or done anything with him. But that doesn't mean anything, you guys.
If they haven't, it's because they knew that they better not, if that makes sense.
It does. I know what you mean. So this shows everything that was the evidence, what was swabbed and scraped and debris and all that other shit. So here's something we have to pay attention to nowadays. Submitted swab and debris from F3 bedroom floor. So now we know that they like to categorize things that they shouldn't in different ways. With the word debris, okay, we got to be careful. Excuse me, we got to be careful. Ethan Chapin had debris in his hand, turned out to be hair. Xana Kernodle had debris in her hand, her left hand. So we don't know what is what within this, other than fingernail clippings. But anything that has the word debris in it, I question it twice now. What's up, Jesse? I don't know, sir. It's Saturday. He might be busy, but nobody else commenting in chat. I think they're just listening, Greg. Good to see you, Jesse. So then the conclusions and interpretations of all of this here that was done says deoxyribonucleic acid DNA analysis employing the polymerase chain reaction PCR was used to generate a short tandem repeat STR profile from items 6-1, 7-1, 13-1, 15-1, 16-1, and a portion of items 3-9, 3, 9-1, 10-1, and 12-1. And it says LOCI examined amylogenin, all them
Yeah,
numbers,
all
all
that,
that
no,
stuff. Yeah, all them numbers and stuff.
all that really bad alphabetical and numerical sequences.
You're welcome to join us, Jesse, if you feel like it. The link's pinned, bud. And it says the DNA profile obtained from item 3 matches that obtained from the known reference sample of Xana. The item 8, report number 4, issued on 11/20 of 22. This DNA profile is at least 12.5 septillion, 1.25 times 10 to the 25th power times. More likely to be seen if Xana is the source than if unrelated individual randomly selected from the general population is the source. The DNA profile obtained from item 6-1 indicates a mixture of DNA. Xana Kernodle is a potential contributor to this DNA mixture. Assuming a two-person mixture and that Ethan, see item 5, 10, 25 times, more likely to be seen if it were the result of a mixture of DNA from Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle than if it resulted from Ethan and an unrelated individual randomly selected from the general population. I wish they would write this in layman's terms.
So basically, what they're saying, it can only be Ethan. It can't be some random dude they
Yeah.
picked up on the street.
Right. All right, guys, give me a moment. I gotta run to the little boy's room again. I guess that second cup
Okay.
of coffee went right through me.
Just so y'all know, I am not reading all this. I'm not. We already know this. We've already read all this. Well, I have anyway.
Yeah, I'll be right back, guys.
So that's the end of this one. I don't need your help reading. Get down. Flipping cat. Anyhow. Basically, all you need to take from that document right there is that the what is it? G.A. Miller tried to throw in some word salad that basically said you couldn't exclude Bryan from the DNA sample from under Maddie's fingernails, when in all actuality, he had lower numbers than, let's say, Ethan and Kohberger. He had lower numbers. So why were they excluded and not Bryan? When they had a private lab come in and test it again, and he was totally excluded. You know, I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. When that name first came out, that Nicholas Mowich, I went to Facebook and I typed in his name, and I'll be damned if 17 friends we have in common came up on my screen. I was like, what? Yeah. Which I agree with you. I hate this case, but you just can't. You can't hit it and quit it. Yeah, there was no cross contamination in any of the wounds, which is odd. It's like we're too dumb to figure that out. I think Dago fell in. Shall we take a moment in silence for him? And which I don't think I have seen anybody, any of these lawyers or anything, ask why was there no cross contamination in any of the wounds if it was just one weapon. Why wasn't there? So he just, has his special ninja go gadget arm, zip lining, naked, barefooted, whatever, just whipping them out at any random time. Are we that dumb? Oh yeah, a minimum of 2 at least. Oh, I have realized how dumb some people are.
Okay, sorry about. All I heard was how dumb people are.
We took a moment of silence for you because we thought maybe you fell in.
No, I had to wait for my granddaughter to go to the bathroom before I could use it. It wasn't gone that long.
Wait, you only have one bathroom?
Yeah, I live in a 110-year-old house. Yes, we have one bathroom.
Bless your heart. That's why we have 3.
Oh, well, I hope you enjoy that because I don't have them. So all of this has been read. Then this is all the evidence that again what we talked about.
Let me rephrase this. I said I am not reading all that. We've read all that before. That's just the same report that we have in all the forensic documents. It's the same report.
Okay, so then this is basically stating that Bryan's excluded from all of this, as we already know, as you see it here. Every one of these.
Well, yeah, that's what I was telling them. They are saying that
Well, they have somebody else in here too. Somebody named Bryan Kohberger.
Kohberger.
Jesus.
This Jude Jade Miller was
Yeah.
trying to use word salad and saying he couldn't be excluded when his numbers were lower than Ethan, than Kohberger. His numbers were lower, so why weren't they excluded?
All right.
Why were they excluded, but Bryan wasn't?
More word salad with bullshit dressing, as always. Yes.
Yeah.
And then this part here.
Apparently,
again,
they threw in a couple little macaroni twists in there.
Yeah. Where'd it go? Ethan Chapin, item 5. Xana Kernodle, item 8. Jack Decor, 17. Bethany Funk, 18. Dylan Mortensen, 19. John Showalter, Cole Barenberg, Jose Cruz, Henry Clark. Who the fuck is Henry Clark? Kenneth Anderson, Donald McDonald, Mason Bar.
Were those the grocery store guys?
They could have been. I don't know.
I know that Derek
Yeah.
Agbenya. They were he was at least one of them at the Winco.
Right. And then that could have been the other guy, the
the
Henry
courage
Clark,
and the courage guy.
Courage Alorbu. Yeah.
Yeah. See, they tested all these guys, but not one time do you ever see them say they tested the sample that they got from Nicholas Mowich.
Hold on one second. My wife's talking to me. I'm sorry.
Well, you gotta hurry up because I have to go get the boy.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's some interest.
Did you hear me?
Yes, you have to go pick up Sean.
Yeah, I have to jump out. I have to go get the boy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Thank you. You've been big help. Appreciate you.
The man child.
Yes, it's all. Leave him alone.
Poop dick.
Leave him alone.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Goodbye, dear.
All right, bye.
Jose Cruz. Some of these names are interesting because a lot of these names we haven't heard. Kenneth Anderson. We know who Jeremy Reagan is. Coy Wynn, Derek Agbenya, Patrick Butner, Courage Alurbu, James Deskins, Connor Chestnut. All of these. And Bryan Kohberger has been excluded as contributors to all of this, guys. A DNA profile obtained from item 73 indicates mixture of DNA with a major profile, which matches that previously obtained from the known reference. A sample of Kaylee Gonsalves, assuming a two-person mixture. This DNA profile is at least 525 septillion times more likely to be seen if it were the result of a mixture of DNA from Kaylee and an unrelated randomly selected individual than if it resulted from two unrelated individuals randomly selected from the general population. Madison Mogan is a potential contributor to the minor component of this mixture. Assuming a two-person mixture, this DNA profile is at least 44.6 quadrillion times more likely to be seen if it were the result of a mixture of DNA from Madison Mogan, an unrelated randomly selected individual, than if it resulted from two unrelated individuals randomly selected from the general population. Ethan, Xana, Jack, Bethany, Dylan, John Showalter, Cole Berenberg, Jose Cruz, Henry Clark, Kenneth Anderson, Donald McDonald, Mason Barstow, Jeremy Reagan, Coy Wynn, Derek Agbenya, Patrick Butner, Courage Alvaru, James Deskins, Connor Chestnut, and Bryan Kohberger are all excluded as contributors to this DNA mix. So, yeah, we have read this before. Just some new names thrown into it, but we didn't. But the DNA obtained from 101, 103, 103.3, and 2 are consistent with that obtained from the known reference sample of Bryan Kohberger. So it shows that item 108 was previously returned to the submitting agency, and all remaining items have been returned to the main laboratory evidence vault for return to the submitting agencies. That comes from Jade Miller. What's up, senor? You're good, bro. Why is Mowich even mentioned in this case? Well, because of who he knew and who he was close to, and why it got it's this whole thing that hard to explain. Frustration. Oh, you don't ever have to apologize for being late, senor. You know better than that, brother. I'm sorry about your car. All right, so moving down here again, let's see. 51 of 91 docs left to be released. Okay. All right, I want to check something else to you guys real quick here. Give me a minute. Just a minute. I'm looking for something within the documents here. Give me a minute, please. Come on. Scroll, scroll, scroll. All right, now. Doesn't show it, does it? Nope. Not a thing there. Nope, nothing there. Over there. Nope, nope, nope. Well, where the hell is it then? Nothing there either. Hmm. One second. I'm just trying to. Unfortunately, this takes forever to scroll through these things. Nothing new there. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, moving on. I already did that. Bear with me. I'm just trying to get to certain things. Make sure that we're not hitting things we haven't seen already. And yeah, we did see that. Just a minute. I thought you were leaving.
I did leave. I'm driving.
Oh, okay. Well, be careful.
Did you happen to look up the one about the demonstrative exhibits?
Uh, 1
Sarah said
minute.
Sarah said that one's interesting too.
Is it a new one?
Yeah, it's on that list that you were just going through.
That's what I'm looking for right now. So we have a defendant's objection to state's notice of intent, state's motion in limine, state's motion in limine, defendant's objection to state's motion in limine, AT&T. We know that one. Ah, there it is. Okay. Two. Exhibits 1, 2, 3 in support of the objection to state's motion in limine. Admissibility of demonstrative exhibits. And that comes from Exhibit 1, Defendant's 11th request. Exhibit 1A, State supplemental request to 11. Email chain, yeah, we started to go into that one earlier. I think, please take notice that the undersigned, pursuant to Rule 16 of the Idaho Criminal Rules, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments to the Constitution of the United States, Articles 1, 1, 2, 13, and 17 of Constitution of the State of Idaho, request discovery and inspection of all materials discoverable by defendant per ICR 16B18 and The aforementioned constitutional provisions, including but not limited to the following information, evidence, and materials outlined in J. And yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this one is the one I wanted to touch on too. Cool. What? Shit. Hold on. Somebody's at my door. Don't go nowhere, guys. I'll be right back.
No, Hangman, I think we're just going to leave some debris. Just hang that debris on the like button. I think he said he used to work for Judge in the bearded Wonderless. I do know that Greg is from the Quad Cities up there. So he knows the communities too.
All right. Sorry about that. Again, I'm so sorry for all the disruptions today. That was my roof guy. Again. Okay. La 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 la. This is not showing anymore. Okay. 11 supplemental request for Discovery Exhibit J. It says all audio to all video available from 1112 King, including from November 13th, 0:55 a.m. through 11:17. Audio has only been provided from November 13th at 2:25 to 12:05. We are seeking all audio and video that exists from this camera. We're missing sound on 11:13 at 0:55 to 2:25. So this is when Ann got the muted video. Same thing.
Yeah, that's
Jules
the
got.
same version that Jules got. Yeah.
Right, the muted one.
So did Ann ever get some with
Probably
audio
not.
or
Probably not. And I bet you that has something like serious on it too. Obviously.
I'm guessing too. How do you just? It doesn't just miraculously disappear off the video.
No, it was manipulated. I agree with that fully. And it says we're requesting all footage, audio, and video that exists from King Road camera prior to 00:55 hours. We need. I don't even know if we can, but I want to try to FOIA everything that for the whole week on that. You know what I'm saying? But if that camera, I can't remember. Does that camera erase after so many days, or does it just copy over, or does it continuously, record it all? I think
well,
Senor.
it goes to their. Didn't it go to a cloud or something? Because that's how the one dude accessed it.
That's what
That
I
was
thought
down
too.
in Boise or something.
Right, right. So there should be video on that for
So
the week prior. I would hope.
I,
That's what I want to see.
I would not. I would not waste the paper because I'm gonna almost 100% tell you they do not have it.
It's probably been erased at this point, but yeah. So it's saying that they want a complete copy of SD card from 1112, surveillance camera footage from Latah County courtroom from 1026 hearing, follow up on investigation related to Shannon Gray media sources. That's interesting. Identify all certified CastViz users within the Moscow PD and certifications. This one here,
That
follow
whole
up,
statement that all four of them sentences.
right. Shannon Gray's media sources. That's interesting to me,
You know, the Dateline leak.
right?
What happened
See,
in the courtroom
listen to
on
on the 26th,
10/26?
right?
Was that televised?
I don't remember. Surveillance, wait a minute. Surveillance camera footage from Latah County courtroom. Like they're wanting to know, they want surveillance footage from the courtroom as if, what the, like from the courthouse, not something that was put in for the case, but like something must have
They want
happened.
the courtroom.
We need to figure out October 26th. What year though?
It doesn't say the year on there.
No.
Well, it has to be
Well, wait a
23
minute.
or 24.
It's 22. Back here it says, or no, wait, based upon
It
information.
can't be 22 because he wasn't arrested.
Right, 11 to 23. And
So it
then
has to be 23 or 24.
So I want to know what happened October 26th in the courtroom during that hearing that they want the footage from the courthouse from. That
They
is
don't want the
interesting.
footage from the courthouse. They want the footage from the courtroom.
The courtroom at the courthouse is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make it understandable that it's relating to a situation, not the actual case. There was a situation that went down during that hearing that they want to see that camera footage for.
I agree.
That's
something
what
in that
I want to
courtroom
know.
happened that day.
Exactly. That is interesting. So I am notating what happened on October 26th hearing.
Is it televised?
That's the other one.
And if it's in Latah County, you can see almost the entire courtroom from
Yeah, it was definitely better than
Taylor
Ada.
or Santa.
And it may have, yeah, if it was live, and if this is one of those split hearings where they had it live for the first half and shut down for the second half, that's the other question. And then it says follow up on investigation.
Oh, was it the hearing about the Shannon Gray not having? He didn't want to have to fall under the gag order.
It could be because it says in follow up on investigation related to Shannon Gray media sources. It was the hearing with Shannon Gray. Joanne just said so. Okay, we'll look back to that one. See what we can figure out on it. I wonder why.
I wonder if they gave us a transcript on what happened that day.
That's what I was going to ask next. Sarah said it's October of 23. Thank you, Sarah. Identity of all certified CastViz users within the Moscow PD and certifications. Really? Say again. Senior said on October 26th of 23 inside Latah County courtroom, judge denied Bryan Kohberger's motion to dismiss the indictment after a lengthy hearing where the defense argued that the grand jury had been improperly instructed. The judge also made a key ruling allowing cameras in the courtroom. Okay. Interesting. So then moving forward, and it says any exhibits that were created by Mowry while using the CastBiz program during this examination with dates, times that they were created. All information, documents, and data related to the AT&T Hemisphere program, also known as the DAS program in the investigation of the homicides at 1122, or the investigation of Bryan Kohberger and or his prosecution. This request includes, but is not limited to, the identity of any and all law enforcement, including FBI cast members or their officials who participated, other officials who participated in the investigation relating to this program. The date and time of the query or record request or any other access to AT&T or through AT&T programs. Digital copies of all data provided as a result of the request and AT&T specific records of all inquiries made by any person, entity, governmental agencies, or internal software program pertaining to the AT&T phone number 8458, date of the request, and law enforcement officials that are making the request. A complete copy of all data as a result of the request, and a complete copy of all materials relied upon by Corporal Payne in his affidavit for the search warrant to AT&T. Second warrant issued on 12/23 of 22 at 16:53 hours by Judge Marshall. This request includes, but is not limited to, all the notes, emails, reports from all law enforcement, including FBI special agents that specialize in cell site location. So it was the hearing that the first half was sealed. Okay. Makes sense. Then I would have been, I would imagine there should be a transcript for the second half, right? Or the first half, I mean. All information,
Well,
documents, and
if they're asking for Latah County records, it would not have been Hippler's courtroom.
no, that was Judge still.
Correct.
Also, disclosure of any research or inquiry that was done utilizing a database to determine location information in any format of any mobile device. This request includes specifically the reverse geofence searches of MAID data, direct location search related to MAID data, and any search to discover mobile devices, MAC identifiers, any search that would produce any location data of any mobile device done outside of a previously disclosed search warrant. Complete corrective actions logged as indicated by Ryland Nowlan's email that would be available electronically. Yearly audit reports for ISP Forensic Lab for 23, 22, and 21. ISP Forensic Lab accreditation. Most recent full reports. Missing records. Oh, buddy. This is interesting. Missing records for Kaylee Gonsalves U of I file. Wait a minute. Missing records from Kaylee Gonsalves' University of Idaho file. Documentation appears to be missing from what we have been provided. A letter from Olivia Gonsalves. Missing pages, see page 14004. Why would there be any missing files from Kaylee's University of Idaho file?
There shouldn't be.
Yeah, but 14004. Missing records from her U of I file. Oh, buddy, wait a minute. That's interesting. That could be it too, senor. Maybe the records that
Why she
explain why she
couldn't be a
couldn't be a
teacher.
teacher. Right. Kim said busted at Alpha Phi, I bet. May have had something to do with that. And then, yeah. Hmm. Missing pages. Okay. Complete recordings from Marianne Kohberger's contacts with all law enforcement, including state, local PD, and the FBI, including direct interviews and any recordings and all transcripts made. Complete recordings from Amanda Kohberger's contacts with law enforcement, including state, local PD, and FBI, including direct interviews and any recording and all transcripts made. Unredacted and redacted 15221 through 15248. Numerically missing from sequence. So these things, this is filed, folks, if you didn't catch on, this was filed by the defense. Okay?
It seems to be everything done by the FBI is what's missing.
Right. And it's stuff that the defense should have received from the prosecution when they received this discovery, and it's not there. Conveniently. Specified things that were pulled obviously for a reason. And don't tell me it was an accident. They were just accidentally left out. I'm calling bullshit, okay? Also, I went too far ahead. Unredacted pages 6050 through 6105. We received redacted Oh, Jesus Christ. So they tried to give the defense redacted copies of Discovery. Are you serious? Unredacted 8153 and 8169 through 8169. They received redacted copies again. April 4th of 23. Unredacted photographs. We received redacted copies of these. Why the fuck are they sending them redacted stuff? That's not legal. That should be prosecutorial misconduct right there. And why are they redacting or withholding the Kohberger's information?
Why are they redacting or withholding anything?
Well, that's the biggest question, yes. And audiovisual 00304 received on May 22nd of 23. All of the linked media subfolders in AV 00304 are empty. Surprise. Wow. Copies of all 3D scans and photographs completed by the FBI and ISP during their visit to King Road on October 31st through November 1st of 23 to include all scans and photographs of the residents and surrounding areas. They didn't get that. The updated complete cast. Go ahead.
How can Bill Thompson do his little dollhouse thing, his 3D reenactment, if the defense didn't even get the 3D stuff? How was that even allowed that he could present that?
Right. Agape said because Ann didn't file a writ of mandamus to demand her request. Lucy said, get out of her head.
she shouldn't have to. She shouldn't have to apply for a writ of mandamus because it's called exculpatory evidence. The defense
Yeah.
has to give it, or the state has to give it to them.
Let's not forget what Chris Whitcomb said in his book that they found massive amounts of exculpatory evidence in mislabeled files. Remember that too, okay? Updated complete cast report provided to the defense was labeled draft. What the fuck? Hold on. Updated and complete cast report. The cast report provided to the defense was labeled draft, dated from July 10th of 23, and included no expert analysis. Wow.
Yes, we've heard that before. Who said that? Was that
I don't
in
remember.
was that in the book? That it was only a draft.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
never
think you're
got
right. You're right.
the final report.
Right. Liv makes a good point. Why was any of it even bothered to have been gone through to do redactions? It was public information. If it was redacted, then why are they charging people to do it now? Amen to that one. That way that's just so they can extort you. Welcome, Wellington. Good to see you. Hmm. All materials that were relied on or referenced in creating the cast report. This request includes, but is not limited to, FBI Special Agent balances, documentation, notes, reports, and copies of materials used in his investigation and analysis. Well, if we remember, Ann was going to impeach him on the stand. Remember that?
Yes.
And then she tried to. I think the only thing Hitler was going to allow her was to talk to him off the record. Surprise.
Was outside the presence of the
Out,
jury. Yes.
yes, and that. So therefore, in turn, but that never got to happen either.
No, he wasn't going. That's what I'm saying. This was never gonna. That's why I don't think
Right.
the state divulged a lot of this information because they knew it
They
was
never
never
planned
going
on going to trial. Yes, ma'am. We're on the same page on that one for sure.
It
They
kind of
knew they
makes a
didn't
little
need to.
more sense now.
This is kind of proof of that in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew they weren't going to, and this was. Is there a date on this? Hold on.
Bill Thompson probably said, "Oh, you don't have to give me that. We're never going to trial anyway.
Right. There's no actual
Don't
date
worry
on
about it. You get a pass."
this. Wow, what a disastrous. And they're still extorting people for all this shit too. That's the funny thing. But anyway, yeah, I think this is almost proof that they were never going to go to trial, folks.
I think this is the first case I've read about or heard about that the FBI didn't release the stuff that they found.
Right. And now the big question is why? Why did they not?
I mean, even in the Delphi case, the FBI released their report.
Yeah, they did. All of the linked media subfolders in AV00304 are completely empty.
Linked media, yeah, not surprising.
Jesus Christ. Copies of investigative reports, lab reports, photographs, and chain of custody records and or other documents that exist related to the analysis of soil recovered from a shovel found inside Mr. Kohberger's vehicle. And of course, FBI agent Travis Shirley's report request for a solid provenance examination dated June 13th to 23. Copies of investigative reports and lab reports, photographs, again, chain of custody records and or other documents that exist related to the collection and analysis of soil recovered from 6 different sites in the Moscow Pullman area by MPD Detective Payne, August 2nd of 23rd, and MPD Supplementary Report number 227. Hold on. Because I swear we have that.
I do at home, yes. Lucy, what is it?
Um, and an affidavit in support of a T-Mobile search warrant. This is another illegal warrant. Copy of records referenced in Moscow Police Report 250, authored by Corporal Payne. Let's go to that one too. Hang on. Yes, Selena, I agree. Let's see here. Copies of anything that Payne had his hand on seems to be a problem. Copies of all mapping data collected by Balance and Sean Kennedy during all drive testing conducted between November 16th of 22 and January 6th of 23. This request includes, but is not limited to, any and all mapping from Moscow, Idaho areas south of Moscow, Idaho, Pullman, Washington, and areas south of Pullman, Washington. All data, including mapping data, notes, and reports for any drive testing conducted after January 6th. Thank you so much for that, Hangman. God bless, bro. Whoever received it, congrats. Welcome to the sauce with us and welcome to the family. And I appreciate you, Hangman. You're very generous, bro. Very much appreciated.
Senior, I thought it was supplement 226.
Well, the other one that they're asking for was supplement 227. Then the next one came was 250. And that's about the dog
250 is about
impound.
the dog.
The dog impound and ISP.3D and LAS format, dog impound form 157. Right? Thanks, senor. Items 862 and 863. Okay. All data, including mapping data, notes, and reports for drive testing conducted after January 6th. Okay. Copies of the training. She did want training records. If you remember that, never got that, obviously. All copies of training and certification records for Nick Balance and Kennedy, specifically related to the use of the Gladiator Autonomous Receiver, GAR. What the hell is that thing? I'm going to have to look into that.
You're going to have to Google it.
So she's basically saying that they had no knowledge of how to use this thing, I'm guessing. Or she's challenging that. Okay.
She's challenging his expertise in anything.
Exactly. Senior said on Tuesday, November 14th, Gilbertson from ISP provided me with a thumb drive of the .3D scans from 1122 King Road in LAS format. Thank you, sir.
On the same date, I received an email from
Deputy
Detective
Olson,
containing an attachment for the
Latah
dog
County
impound
Sheriff's
form.
Office, right? Okay. Thank you, sir. Interesting. Copies of the calibration record for the Gladiator. Okay, hold on a minute. I need to look this up real quick. It's going to drive me nuts. What the hell? Gladiator Technologies, inertial sensors and systems. Gyroscopes, initial measurement units, accelerometers. Oh, okay. So the drive test stuff. The stuff they use to conduct the drive test, I'm guessing then. Okay. So basically, she's calling out the knowledge that they had to use these things and whether or not they knew what the hell they were doing and challenging that, which makes sense.
It It's a federal surveillance receiver platform used by the FBI for cell site location, monitoring,
Goddamn
wireless
wrong.
signal capture devices, identification, passive collection of RF emissions, tracking a target phone without active pinging.
Then I was completely wrong.
So when did they do that test? The drive test.
November 16th of 2022 and January 6th of 23. Sorry. Thanks, senor. Once again, none of this had to be provided because they knew there was going to be no trial.
So tracking a target phone without actually actively pinging the phone.
Right.
So do you think they had an active phone already in mind on the 16th?
That date seems kind of interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As we've already heard that date before.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And remember, it was as early as 3 days after
That's what I
that
mean.
his name was already being circulated.
No, they were talking about Bryan Kohberger as early as 3 days after the crime. That's
Yeah,
why that
his name
date's
was
important, you guys. Right.
his name was being circulated as early as the 16th.
That's why that date right there is so important because we've heard this already, and there's another point to it. Any and all mapping from Moscow, area south of Moscow, Idaho, Pullman, Washington, area south of Pullman. All data, including mapping data, notes, and reports for any drive testing conducted after January 6th. I'll be damned. I think what she's calling out here, folks, is that we listen to you, Lucy. Half the time we don't know what the fuck you're talking about because we don't understand this shit. So that says to me, wow, you guys, come on. That's why I always ask you to explain it in layman's terms, Lucy, because I don't know what you mean sometimes. Here it is. Right? Welcome, Cyclone. Stop blowing out the window.
Yeah, pay no attention to me. I just knocked myself out.
So this explains why she was asking for. Okay. I remember this conversation now. Copies of training certification records for Balance and Kennedy, specifically related to that, yes. Copies of the calibration record for the GAR used during the drive testing that occurred between November 16th and January 6th, 23, and identity and certifications for those responsible for calibrating it. So, again, she's calling it out because she knows that it wasn't used correctly. And like Lucy said, it was used to capture how the tower is actually engaging with devices, right? Well, we already know how that went down. So there's points to it right there. They already had a name to do the behavior analysis. They had Brian's name 3 days after this, if not before. I mean, I think it was Twiz that said what if they had it before the crimes even happened? I mean, I get it. A tower would be more busy on a Monday at 1400 hours versus Sunday at 0400. Right, of course. No problem. No problem. The basis for this request is as follows. On a Bates stamped pages 014364214408, there were only ISPFS LIMS reports of case correspondence listed in the communications log for M220224843. Since this case was cross-linked to an additional case number, 4870, we request all case communication and correspondence for lab case 4870. Missing case communications and correspondence for 4843. The basis for this request is as follows. There were several blank areas in the communication log provided. On Bates stamp page 3378, there is one email log entry by analyst Haley Youngland that describes multiple emails sent in efforts to coordinate AFIS search submissions with DHS, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Justice, and Cal Department of Justice. These emails have not been provided in the discovery material received by the defense. I'm sorry. The email associated with Bates stamp page 366 is missing. The log report states that there was an email type entry dated, again, November 16th, from analyst Tina Waltel to forensic lab manager Rylan Nolan. The entry has a notation to see an attached email. However, the rest of this page was blank, and it was followed by another log entry on page 14367 concerning an email exchange between Miller and Bill Thompson. That was followed by that email exchange email associated with the page 143366 communications log entry is missing. This is bullshit, okay? Absolute bullshit. None of this shit should be missing. So here in question, okay? When Ann Taylor is telling them, Your Honor, I'm not receiving the things that I should be receiving. You don't understand the things that I'm going through to get this stuff. And he said, I do understand, Miss Taylor. I feel for you. Hitler wouldn't even hear this mess. So if you're, and I said this before, they were receiving the discovery like 52 card pickup. It was all over the fucking place. Things were missing, withheld,
hidden
in mislabeled files. Okay. What the fuck, you guys? What the fuck? This is bullshit. And this dude's sitting in prison right now. And they blatantly fucking screwed this over. God damn it. And I don't understand with this why this is probably why Ann got the way she did. Sorry, I don't mean to yell, but I'm so pissed off right now. God damn. And then we get fucking crucified because we're pointing it out. Oh, you're conspiracy theorists. You're full of shit. You're this, you're that. What the fuck?
I mean, we're reading these released documents and we're wondering, people were wondering last week, oh, look, Ann Taylor didn't do her job. She's a crappy attorney. No, read these
This
and
is what
you'll
happened
realize
right here.
why. They
Bingo.
were left with no options.
So this is probably what Turby was seeing when he was seeing what he was saying what he was seeing. She wasn't even given the right materials to do her job.
Yeah.
Okay. So in turn needs to be rolled over and the accountability needs to be held in the hands of fucking prosecution saying you didn't give me the materials I requested. You gave me some of them and withheld the things you knew that I actually needed on purpose. So in my opinion, then accountability needs to be in the hands of prosecution. They should be held liable for this. This should throw the fucking case out. Can I reiterate that I hate this case?
No, you could keep saying it. But you just can't hit it and quit it.
This is so fucking irritating. You guys have well, you do know, but On Bates stamp page 143364, an email type entries dated 11/16. I read that already. Okay. There's a blank area under the log entry. On Bates stamp page 04, there's a blank area under the log entry. They weren't even fully full of filling out the documents like they were supposed to and the stuff they were supposed to be doing. And you can't tell me that was accidental. There's no way on God's green earth one person's going to make this many fucking mistakes on accident. Okay? This was done on purpose.
There's nothing in this case that was done accidentally.
No, and there's no way it's coincidental, boss. This was all done maliciously on purpose, folks.
Fizzy, I agree with you. It didn't matter what attorney he had. The
They'd
state
have
was
done it to
not
Alan
gonna be-
Jackson, too.
Yeah.
That's a fact, guys. I told you. I've said this I don't know how many times. Bryan was going to be guilty no matter what. No matter what. And they made sure of it by doing shit like this. And you can say I'm overreacting. It is what it is. It's just, it's in our face now, and we're seeing exactly the things they were doing. I don't think I'm overreacting. I'm highly distressed over this, okay? That's my question. Why did things like this is what I pointed out in the letter that I sent to the DOJ. Why doesn't the DOJ step in on this shit? They call this justice. It's absolutely fucking insanity to think that this could happen, and it could. It has. Here it is. And why? Because it had to be Bryan Kohberger no matter what. And I'm telling you, the things that are probably missing in here point away from him. Hence why they're missing.
Idaho's Innocence Project is out of funding, so they
Exactly.
won't be able to help much.
What a joke. Right. And then they all get awards for doing such a great job. That's the point, Busy, right there. Anyone that's calling for Ann's head of not having the hair tested, it wouldn't have mattered who was defending Bryan. They weren't going to do it anyway. Stop falling out the window. Yeah, it has to be in the state of Idaho because that's where it was tried at, Cyclone, unfortunately. I don't think, I mean, unless a private attorney were to come in and do something there, but it all has to start with Bryan. There's the problem. Okay.
Any defense attorney can take on this case. Any appellate attorney can take on this case pro bono.
Right.
Just like Bicca Barlow, she's still working on his case pro bono.
But it's got to start with him, though.
And we don't know what he's doing. Nobody has any idea, and we can't even assume to guess what he's doing.
Right. He has to want to have this happen. That's the problem. That's why everybody's freaking out so bad about somebody talking to him and letting him know just how bad this actually is. Well, can they? I don't know if the Innocence Project can affirm private.
If they can talk to appellate attorneys who would want to do it pro bono.
Right.
But I'm almost
If
certain
they can
that
get them involved in the Innocence Project, right?
I'm almost certain that the Idaho Innocence Project, they're being out of funding, they're not going to be a whole lot of help. But if you found an appellate attorney who would do it pro bono, that's probably better.
All right, moving on. Now, this is interesting stuff, too, that I know Lana got into this yesterday.
Oh, the phones?
Sorry. Full file system extraction for Bethany Funk's cell phone and advanced logical extraction only is what was previously provided to the defense. So they didn't get the they only did the advanced logical extraction, okay, instead of the full file extraction, which means they did not fully extract Bethany's phone. Okay. That's a problem. Native phone extraction for Dylan's cell phone. The defense has only previously been provided an Axiom report generated by law enforcement. We're seeking the data used to produce the report. How can you not give that to them? Again, because they know that there's shit on the fucking phone. Wow. Full file system extraction for Gower's cell phone. Again, advanced logical extraction is what was previously provided to the defense. Jesus Christ. Full file system extraction for Kaylee's phone after it has been unlocked. The defense has been provided an extraction with user data encrypted due to the phone being locked. There is additional information stored in an unencrypted area on the phone that has not been provided. Please let us know what the current status of the phone is and if the steps are still being taken to unlock the device. So she's saying right here that they never got the fucking phone unlocked. How is that possible, you guys? I don't believe it. I don't. And I'm going to tell you why. I said this in Lana's last night. They brought in the Secret Service to do this, okay? You're going to tell me that the Secret Service cannot overplay Apple? Bullshit. Okay? I feel like they did get into her phone, okay? I feel like they did. And they just denied the information to them that was found. This is insane. All reports, information, and data, including all experts, the state has relied upon in developing the affidavits in support of all the warrants. There's no way you can make me believe they didn't get into that phone. Somebody tell me how that it's possible that with all the agencies involved in this, they didn't break that phone. I will argue that to the death. The garbage. Your mom wants the garbage and everything next to it. Then go do it. Then go do it. Cyrene named Boyd Jackson as associated with AT&T. Yeah, he did. So there you go. So they're saying that a 21-year-old is a mastermind genius that made her phone up. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. What's up, Mikey? There's no way they didn't get the phone open. And here's the thing: if they didn't get the phone open, then Kaylee was working for the fucking CIA. Then, okay, I'll put it that way. You tell me, which one do you believe first? They've broken into Apple phones many, many times in the past without having to even go to the Secret Service, okay? Bullshit. Again, bullshit. According to Mowry documented statements, he only wrote out subpoenas for Kaylee's phone and it was sent directly to this SS, Secret Service guy. Right. There's no way they didn't get it open. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that. Good Jesus. This is insane. The state's response to defendant's 11 supplemental request for discovery. I think we already went through this one. Hold on. Oh, these are other things that are needed. State's response for discovery filed January 23rd. That far back, huh? State's response to the defendant's first supplemental request for discovery filed February 21st, March 29th, May 12th of 23, June 8th, 23, first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery. State's response to defendant's fourth, June 16th, June 9th, 29th, July 5th. Are you telling me that she still never received all these? That can't be possible. Come on. Welcome, Kiss Me Where I Pee, and Kate Arrett, welcome. Yeah, well, it's possible, Kate. I don't doubt it. At this point, I don't doubt anything. Is that what this is stating, is that they never received all these? I don't want to. I want to make sure I'm not reading that wrong.
I wonder why.
So they were still waiting on all these bases of discovery, going back to the beginning of the fucking case. September 6th of 23, October 24th of 23, November 20th of 23. All of those they were still withholding from them. And then you have the prosecution coming in saying, we've handed everything over to Miss Taylor that we need to. Where?
Quit clawing at them.
If they're all still waiting on all this, how? And how? Tell me how the judge would set a deadline for these things, and it was just ignored.
Okay, so I've asked you 3 questions, and you even asked you when you were on your way in there, and you didn't answer me. So
who are you talking to?
At them.
I just told you what I'm irritated about.
Okay, but today isn't normally a day that we do anything.
She's not talking to me, obviously. Hang on.
I'm getting an attitude because you're treating.
I agree. That's it right there. There were no consequences to their actions. I did. I muted it. I don't think she realized she didn't. Well, to some extreme, Turkey, it would have been different though. If the phone was locked, like to get inside of it, you can only go so far, even on a family plan. Like it doesn't matter. They will only take it so far with certain things. You can only get so much out of it. So if it was locked out, there's no way. Okay, you couldn't just get into it, especially with Apple products. That's a big deal. So, just saying. Yeah, seems to be that she was. If you really think that, that's what I'm saying. We know they did. I mean, they'll fight it to some extreme sometimes, but not to this extreme, guys. There were government agencies involved in this. Apple's not going to push that button, okay? Secret Service, Homeland Security, FBI, they're not going to fight them. Come on. A local PD, state and local stuff like that, that's a different story. Apple, it's not that serious to them, okay? But they're not going to fight government agencies like this. I'm just saying. That makes no sense. It was deeper encrypted data that can only be pulled from the device, not from cloud. Right. Thank you, Kate. And it makes me wonder what it is that it was locked down so deep. If that makes sense to you. They got the encryption key from Harvard. So here's my question. I tell you guys, I don't think that it was not unlocked. Okay. At that point, what was in that phone? Could it be right? They got the key from Harvard, which will tell you how that they did get into it. Okay. First and foremost, it is probably exculpatory to Bryan Kohberger. And secondly, it could be what got Kaylee killed. If you think about it, let's say Kaylee was a CI. She had a program in her phone to upload certain information into her phone for whatever reasons. I know I'm reaching here, guys. I'm just saying. I could be wrong. But I wonder. I really do. I wonder. This thing has been an issue for me for a while. I wonder if this is a bone here. Okay, a big one. So moving up to exhibit one. What time? Oh shit. Yeah, we might have to break this down for the day and move on and start up with this tomorrow. So, if Apple doesn't comply, how was Mallory talking to Apple about Bryan? Right. Exactly. Thank you. They're not going to fight against the three-letter agencies, folks. They're just not. And I just believe that they lied, said that they didn't have the information because something with that information is of importance, in my opinion. I'll just tell you right now. It either had exculpatory evidence towards Bryan, meaning that it pointed to what may have happened to Kaylee. That's kind of where I'm leaning at this point. Is it possible that whatever was in that phone pointed directly to what may have happened to these kids? Well, I mean, it could be that too. It could have went to the stalker situation, or it could have been something a little deeper, Fizzy. You know what I mean? I know that's a bit of a conspiracy theory and a bit of a rabbit hole, but truly and honestly, you think about they're lying about being able to get into her phone. They had her phone for a long period of time. Remember that. It changed with a series of national security accounts for sure. That's what I'm saying. Why does it have to be deep? It doesn't have to be deeper. I said it could be because I can't imagine that just a stalker situation would be enough to withhold that. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like whatever it is could be what got her killed. And the rest of that. That could be exactly what the hell she was talking about with Maddie. What did you say to Adam? I told him everything. We don't know. I'm just telling you it could be something deeper. I'm not saying it had to be. I said it could be. And for them to withhold the fact that they did get into her phone and what's in the phone is what I'm saying. Well, I mean, it could be if the stalker was somebody of importance, sure. That would make some sense. I mean, Kaylee could have had knowledge. We know that she had stated she was looking into certain things. She was a sleuther. We know all that. She was looking, according to Dylan, I think it was, which there again, we don't know what to believe or not to believe, that she was looking into RSOs or registered sex offenders within the area. Or was that something she used as a cover to what she was actually doing? Or is that possibly what she was doing and it popped up somebody of importance that they didn't want out there, maybe? Could it have something to do with the parallel investigation that was going on around her? I'm just saying there's a few things that make you think. Hi, Sleuther or sleeping with somebody very important. There you go. You know, one of them in the book was stated to for sure have an OnlyFans account. What if they both did? What if they were doing that together as a couple thing? You know, I've heard that that happens. I don't know that it's fact because I don't follow those things, but Haley liked nice things, taking care of her appearance, vacations, etc. She was focused on her goals. People were on her tail for many reasons, in my opinion. That's a good point, Agape. This could be the answer that we've looked for, folks. That something in that phone tells the truth. And in turn gives a good reason why they won't give that information out or put it out. Everybody else's phones were cracked and looked into and everything was okay, but Kaylee's, they won't put any of that out. Explain that to me. And we've thought for a long time this goes pretty high and pretty deep, right? So if it's somebody of utmost importance and somebody that really needs to keep things on a DL on this, that would explain it. I know that's where Fizzy was going. For sure, Wellington, for sure. Her sister went into cover up mode right away. Yeah. Steve makes the statements that there's some names that are going to get drugged through the mud, and it could get to some people, it could be pretty gross. Those comments there alone. I don't know, folks, but it's very interesting to think of. So, again, we're going to come back to that stuff probably tomorrow. Funeral parade, welcome. Hangman said you can do partners, singles, couples. I thank you for telling me. I didn't know that. I just kind of had the idea from what things I've heard. Yeah, it's got to be like that if they're not letting us know too. That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's got to be something in here. It has to be, and I think I'm going to lean that way now. Extreme networks going to Spain, a known major trafficking hub. Kaylee was sleuthing trafficking and child porn, right? And she's working for Extreme Networks. So let's think on this for a little bit. Good point, Agape. Very good point. Interesting. It's going to be another show. And it'll be, again, we're going to have to come back to this other stuff too. Because I've had you guys here 3.5 hours, which is a little too long, I'm sure. And again, we got to get ready for tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be joined by Travis with Travesty Logic. No one ever listens. Well, because again, I don't know what you mean sometimes, Lucy. Tell me, say it in layman's terms, because none of us, all of us, are as smart as you are sometimes. I mean, it very likely could be Fizzy. We don't know, but I think that I said that once before about the job she was running. Could that have a link to this? Extreme is the same as no. Those are two different places. Uncensored. I'm always listening to you, Lucy. I just don't ever half the time I don't understand what you mean. Interesting, though. Thank you for whoever dropped the flowers in here. Those are neat. Very interesting. Cruddy, what's happening? Good to see ya. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Tomboy, if you can hear me, thank you as well. This has been a bit of an eye-opening day. Thank you to my mods that are here. I appreciate you. Do I have any left in here? Fizzy's here. Lucy's here. Sluther. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Good show. I've learned a little bit. My mind has started to open a little bit more. Travis is on tonight. That is true. I'm looking forward to it. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again with Ms. Logan, Miss Kim, myself, Mikey, and Travis. And Ro. Yes, Ro's here first too. So thank you guys. I think I'm going to be looking into some of this other stuff a little bit more if I can. And we'll get into the rest of these documents again. New name is Kiss Me Where I Fart. Okay. I still won't do it, but welcome. Thank you for being here, guys. Witchy, thank you. And it hits like a punch in the gut and back in the... Yeah, it does. It does. Because it's all lies. But this could be the answer, folks. This could be the answer to the question, the motive as to what the hell's going on here. This could be it. And then in turn, guess what? That makes Kaylee the target. Again. Which is what I've always thought, you know, from the beginning. But it is what it is. Could be why they directed us away from that. So Hitler gets credit for appeasing the in-sealing of records for releasing records they already released and pulled back. It's a bunch of shit. I agree. We love you, Lucy, and appreciate you. I just wish sometimes that you would speak more in layman's terms and dumb it down for people like myself who aren't very smart, so I could understand you a little bit more, because I do listen to you all day, every day. I just don't get it half the time. Silent G, good to see you. Well, it just makes me feel dumb sometimes because I don't understand. I understand the majority of it, but I don't quite get where you're pointing sometimes is all I'm saying. Thank you, Hangman. I appreciate you. And all of you guys, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Don't change nothing. You guys truly are the beautiful people. And I hope to see you all tonight at 6 p.m. I'm looking forward to that show. And until then, have an amazing rest of the afternoon, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye, folks.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture of what they chose to do. The quiet street erupts in flashing light. A reckoning delivered in the night. SWAT serves the warrant, loud and clear. The sound of justice, the only thing we hear. At the TruCrime Cafe, we watch the suspect finally pay. The dark truth is backed and signed and sealed. The wound is closed, the name is finally healed. It's finally healed. The cafe's empty, closed for the night. We put the darkness back into the light. We'll wipe the counter, set the empty chair, and wait right here for the next secret laid bare. Until the next one.